Hi.
Are we audible to everyone present out there?
I
Perfect.
think,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
we are. So, guys, this is Nitin Jain, and we have.
My name is
Oh,
Kritika Rani.
हाँ बोल लो कृतिका. Yeah, Kritika. A big round of applause for Kritika. Come on, you can use your reactions out there.
Yeah, we still have people who are joining. I
Joining
think
in.
only two people are there. Yeah.
And you can a big round of applause for me if you feel like there are many other reactions. There's a blue heart which you could also use just in case if this tie is a little flashy or someone ended up finding it flashy. Okay, so let's go through and let's understand how our participants are, who our participants are, and so uh, hi Anna. Which countries are we having people from? Yeah, Kritika, is that a good question to start from?
Yeah, yeah. It's very
Where are the
interesting.
people from?
I want to know where the audience belongs to.
Yeah, which city you are belonging to? Let's understand. Like I belong right now, I'm sitting at a quarantine center in the city of Joy. Which city is the city of joy? Let's interact a little before we start with the session
The
and the
main event.
ceremony
Yeah.
event today. Hi Anna.
People can write it
Hi.
in the chat box.
Use the chat box. Use the chat box. We'll interact there.
Yes.
I can't see you face to face, so I'm talking at the camera, but I'm very excited. I think Kritika is also very excited. And
I'm really
City of
excited.
Joy.
Looking forward.
So Anna thinks it's Chennai, a city of joy, doubtless Bombay. So Bombay is city, known as city of dreams. That is where you fulfill your dreams. City of joy is Kolkata. It's a very cheap place in regards to living life. You know, you can live a whole day, spend a whole day, guys, in just $50, and you can eat rolls, puchkas. That's why like this city gives you joy as far as food is concerned. Yeah, okay. Sneha is for Pune. Which other city we are having attendees from? Come on, let's use the chat box. So I'll brief few people, all the participants, in regards to how Air Meet works. This is going to be an interactive session. Be active because
Yeah.
otherwise the speakers and like for example even Kritika might be feeling is just talking to a screen and that
No,
screen is doing nothing.
I was wanting to interrupt. You were asking which city we people are from. If I tell you all which country I'm from, I'm not from India.
You're not in India. पीछे दीवार
I
से
am
यही
not
लग रहा है
from
you're
India.
from
I'm
India.
people from Nepal.
You're in Nepal right now.
Yes.
नेपाल
Interesting.
के यहाँ भी पिंक कलर और हमारे यहाँ भी सेम ही है काफी पेंटिंग तो ओके सो वी हैव राम फ्रॉम बैंगलोर दीप अर्चन फ्रॉम मुंबई प्रतीक लोखंडे श्री बालाजी यूनिवर्सिटी पुणे हाय प्रतीक
Wow.
we have a lot of people from Pune Kritika yeah
Yes.
anyone from Delhi the most thanda city amongst the metropolitans
Please, please, someone be there from Delhi.
call your friends guys call your friends as quickly as possible and Everyone, we are audible. Just give a thumbs up once again if you, because someone has just sent me a private chat में message. Privately मत भेजो, public भेजो. Okay, audible. Okay, so tell us about you guys now. You have any question, Kritika, to ask the
Yeah,
attendees present out here?
I'll just ask one question. Which organization do you belong? Are you a student or are you working,
Hmm.
so that we know our
That is
audience
student or
more?
working बता दो आप ताकि हम भी we'll either if you are working we'll talk a lot in English, and if you're a student we'll go a little out and we'll mix Hindi to it, yeah.
Yes.
Working, Herschel, hi Neil Jain,
Oh,
working, hi Mohanji, Habitat for
yeah.
Humanity India.
Wow.
Other participants use the chat box. That if you're using a laptop screen, it's towards your right side, right?
Yes, we have 32 participants and we have only few replying. Please, guys, interact.
Chalo, let me just see the participants and then we will converse. Neetu.
Yeah.
Hi Ramesh ji from Rotary from Delhi. My God, Rotary and उसके ऊपर से Delhi. मतलब wow.
Wow, someone is there from Delhi. I'm glad
Oh,
because
yes.
I have been in Delhi for like 2.5 years. So my friends will be joining in
Oh
from
wow.
Delhi.
Oh, they are joining in. Can all of you, like all the 50 odd participants we are having right now, can all of you like just call your friends and ask them to join as soon as possible so that we could start with the main event? Thank you.
Which is going to be, by the way.
Oh yes, we have which countries? Let's see which attendee is from the farthermost country, like someone who's not from India. Do we have attendees who are from abroad? Say a yes, no, hi, bye. Do we have
Oh, I
attendees?
want to.
Let's look at our international audience.
Hmm.
Yes, doing it with all Habitat India senior leader group. Yes, Chitra, the session has started. We are setting up the environment, Chitra, so that it becomes easier for you guys to connect. Kritika, as per you, so could you tell us, guys, like say even me, for example, what are we here for today, tonight? Sorry, what is this
Yes.
evening
So,
about?
this is the third edition of Giving Economy Changemakers Summit. So,
Mhm,
this has been, we are following this tradition for the past 3 years. We are
mhm,
marking Giving Tuesday as a day to help
mhm,
build a strong community of change makers, like,
mhm.
you from all around the world and from every walk of life, by providing this dynamic stage to jump start business and philanthropy action everywhere on the United Nations defined sustainable development goals. So this is what this event is all about.
See, our host, just look at her. She remembers each and every line. A big round of
Oh,
applause
we
for
are
Kritika.
thank you,
Big round
thank
of
you.
applause from my side. Hi, Megha. So, anyone who is unable to get in, I think if you are in speaker, our backstage team will send you an invite and you could just accept that invitation. And still, if you have that any doubt, do connect to the team in that regard. Or you can, share it out here. And with this, one more thing which I would love to know is, what according, hi, Peter India, Manilal, Waliyateri. Hi, how have you been? How have you been, guys? How have you been? Yeah, hi, it's evening. Let's not do a WhatsApp chat thing. Are you really excited? Share some reactions out here if you are excited. Oh, yes, I just got a blue heart. So, someone is feeling
Yes.
excited, someone is clapping. Yeah.
Wow. You were asking for that and you're getting many now.
Yes. And one more thing which I would love to know from you, say, Kritika, is what is that one thing which you'd like to, take away from today, like after this event?
This
What is
session.
that one thing in one word if you could share?
Like, why have you joined this event? What is that,
Yeah. First you say,
defining
so
the
then
theme?
we'll move on to the attendees, I think.
Yes. Networking, okay, that's interesting.
Where are you getting these answers? I'm unable to find them.
You just have to
Just
scroll
give,
down.
just a second. Oh yes, I missed it. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. For reaching out to spread our work.
Mm-hmm.
That is what we also want. So that many and many more people know about your work.
To learn for change maker. Wow. Wow.
People are here
It's
for learning as well. That's great. That's interesting.
that's great, you know. So I think it's going to be a marriage or a culmination between technology as well as learning. So this whole idea of coming down today and meeting each other today on this forum is a culmination or marriage between, say, technology as well as bringing that change within the society or the place we are living
Definitely.
in.
Very well put up, Nitin, I must say.
Thank you. Hi, Dr. Bindeshwar. Good evening. Good evening. Dr. Bindeshwar, we would love to know what one thing you are looking forward to learn, or maybe you're looking forward from our event today.
Any expectations that you have?
And I think we have a few more people jumping in.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
participant list is increasing. Glad
Yes, yes.
to know that.
So why are other people not active? Mary, Sandeep, Abhinav, Deep Archan Trust,
Abhinav,
Naam,
can you say the full name?
Abhinav Anchalya.
Oh, he's my friend. Hi,
Hey, hi
Abhinav.
Abhinav, camera. Abhinav, share your experiences. Kritika is asking. Kritika, ask a question to him.
Abhinav, come
He'll
on, dude.
answer.
Share your experience via chat.
Use the chat option, guys, so that we can also converse since we can't see you right now. Let's chit chat on chat.
Um,
So, I
I'll
think we
just
are good to go. So,
wait for him.
Manilal sir, we would love to know from you if you are there right now. You know, uh, a big round of applause for first of all for coming in and joining us. You have just added three more stars to the shoulder of our event, and I would love to have some reactions for Mr. Manilal.
Claps.
Share some reactions from your side. Yeah, thank you so much for showering these reactions, guys. Oh my God, itni excitement. Great. So, we'd love to
Wow.
know from your side, sir, you know, what is that one thing that you are excited or curious, or something that you might, end up taking away from today, the event in next 3 to 4 hours? So, sir is typing now. I can see. Oh, you got the blue hearts. Those are from you, sir. My original heart just went away. I've sent it via chat. I got those blue hearts. I'm glad they are having blue
Okay, I
hearts,
cannot see that heart. Hmm.
Oh, that was personally sent by Manilal sir to me. That's why
Oh,
it was not sent personally.
so personal
It's
connections are
visible.
being made. Now, are these for
So,
me? I'll accept
हाँ,
this.
oh yes, that's for you. And I would love to know one more thing, say Kritika, from you. So, what is that one thing that you would like to bring as a change within our society?
One thing that I would like to change, um, the mentality that people have for women, and particularly for feminism, basically. So, yeah.
Okay, okay, great, great. And I would
So,
love to
I
know
think we
from,
are good to go.
yeah, should we start? Are we good to go, guys? Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Share some thumbs up. A blue heart would be great.
Yay! So many reactions. Wow.
So the
Oh
person
my
just,
God.
oh
So
yes,
many.
it's showering now. Yeah, we'll start crying. Don't do like this. This is just the
Wow.
start of the event. Stop,
Overwhelming.
stop, stop. Okay, so
So
let's do a slow clap.
we're good to
Take
go.
out your hands first of all. Yeah, Kritika also joined me. All of you who are sitting at your home, take out your hands. Take both your hands out. First, move your hands like this. Come on, move your hands like this. Warm yourself up. Stop those reactions, and be honest. You also do it with me, Kritika, so that they get a little excited before we move on. Yeah,
Oh, by the way,
clap.
people watching, you may know that Nitin Jain is a professional MC. So yeah,
Oh, now
he
just
has
see
done
now just
MCing
see
at
how
various events
smart
with
Kritika is.
celebrities.
Oh, she just pulled my leg now. That was a big one. Okay, I do it by
This
profession.
is the
I'm into
truth.
anchoring. So I'm into anchoring with comedy and magic, and it's a blessing to be here.
Yeah.
And with this, let's start the event. Again, blue hearts jumping in. Thank you so much, guys. And before we move
Yay.
on, so oh, again, these reactions are not stopping. So now we are going to start on a serious note, guys. Okay? On a serious note. Like
Yes.
really serious.
Otherwise, this
Because
will
we
go
are
on.
here. We are here to learn, grow, expand. And I think how you guys feel like would these 2 evenings today and I think tomorrow also, right? These 2 evenings might help you in becoming a better version of yourself. Maybe just share in chat rather than thumbs up, yes, or even reactions would work. Like maybe becoming a better version of yourself as a human being. Is that one thing which could happen in these 2 days?
Okay, they're typing, they're
Yeah.
writing. By the time we can start with the
Let's
event,
start. Let's start.
right?
Yeah. Let's start. So now let's start on a formal note, guys.
Let's start.
Okay. Yeah. Let's start. So 3, 2, 1, action. A very good evening, everyone. A very good evening to all, and I welcome you all to the third edition of Giving Economy Changemakers Summit 2020.
So since I've already mentioned what this event is all about, but I'll repeat. For the past 3 years, we are marking Giving Tuesday as a day to help build a strong community of change makers like you from all around the world and from every walk of life by providing this dynamic stage to jumpstart business and philanthropy action everywhere on the United Nations defined Sustainable Development Goals.
Well, at this summit, we will outline the journey ahead to escalate the awareness about these global goals at micro levels and join the leaders together to identify opportunities and innovation around the SDGs.
Before we proceed, we would like to introduce ourselves. My name is Kritika Rathi.
And I am Nitin Jain. And what do you think we are?
We will be your hosts for this 2-day event. I know you guys must be excited. We would also like to extend our warm welcome to all of you, and we want to appreciate you for making time from your busy schedules to join us today. We hope we all learn a lot today from each other and have an eventful evening.
Well, anyways, just to kick off the program, we would like to introduce Mr. Chet Jain, a serial entrepreneur, the CEO and founder of Crowdera, and a brain behind this kind and innovative initiative. Someone who has kind of put that seed of making us meet today. On a personal level, knowing Chet, well, he is, trust me, a visionary and someone who is a Waitner with a vision to bring a change within the society. With a big round of applause, let's welcome Mr. Chet on the stage for the welcome
Please allow
speech.
us to welcome Mr. Chet on the stage. Over to you, Chet.
Hi everyone, Namaskar. Thank you, Nitin. Thank you, Kritika, for wonderful introduction and keeping everyone engaged. I was I was just listening. I was seeing those hearts. It was really, really exciting. My journey. I'll take some time to go back to 2016, July 17. It was my birthday, and my wife was like, "Hey, what are you doing? Why are you traveling?" But it was an invitation to go to UN General Assembly, and it was an invitation from for the first Nova Summit. I knew few things about the sustainability, what is happening around the world, what UN is doing, what wonderful things that people are doing. I was already in the business of charity and philanthropy and building solutions for them. But then when I walked into that General Assembly hall, met wonderful world leaders. It was mind blowing when you meet people who have really changed, the landscape of impact. And that day when I met these wonderful people around the world, the leaders, I said, let me make a decision that anything that I'm going to do from this day onwards, I'm going to align each and every effort of mine with SDGs. And I fell in love. I literally fell in love with SDGs. My journey started, a lot of excitement with the work, a lot of excitement working with different charities that I was working with a lot of corporations that I was working with. Silicon Valley life, you meet, it's always like, you meet, you talk all big things. And then comes my visits to India. And I realized people are not aware. People are not aware of SDGs. People are not aware what a sustainable development goal is. People don't know what kind of a stage that world has set for such kind of initiatives, right? What kind of a wonderful work people are doing. So that was one revelation. Now I'll talk about a few more things that shaped my life. I was a teen entrepreneur. Mostly Jenny's. If people from India would align, always think about money. How do I make money from every transaction, every interaction, every action that I do? And I was like one of those guys. I had my journey of 0 to 160 people in 6 years and 160 to 0 in 6 months. And I was like, what is going on? And then somebody just tells me something, it was my mom, that you need to start thinking about giving more than taking. And there is a lot you will see that nobody can really take it away from you. There is a lot that you can have if you wish to have. With those few things, I started making small tweaks in my life, and that principle slowly shaped up into a statement, which we have now trademarked as well, that abundance starts with giving. And that started shaping up my life. With over a decade in the United States, primarily in Silicon Valley, meeting wonderful, humble people, spent most of my valley time in Menlo Park, which is primarily a place for a lot of humble people who are extremely powerful. And I was honored to be around a lot of such wonderful people. What I learned was power was not in money, power was in giving. With those experiences and how my life had shaped, I had started interacting with wonderful people. With these experiences, I started evaluating all the wonderful businesses that I had come across. I had been interacting with the CEOs. Let me just take 3-4 simple examples. One, we all know Google, but probably everyone has forgotten about Alta Vista. Alta Vista was the pioneer when search started, right? But we don't even remember how Alta Vista's UI was. Then came Google, not the first search engine. Yahoo already existed, right? It was a single search bar, nothing else on the page, with the pure intention of giving you the best search possible in the world, right? And even today, they keep improving the algorithm. So there was a pure intention of giving something, helping people around the world. And today, you know what universe has given to Google, what Google is. Think about Facebook. Did not have any clue of monetization for longest possible time, right? And it started building relationships right from the Howard Dom to now almost every fourth person on the planet knows each other by virtue of Facebook, right? Even today, to make those friendships, today we have become more of a Facebook generation than I'm not saying that's a good news, but think about it. The solution that Facebook gave, the intention that Facebook set to connect people around the world had right intention. It was pure giving. And we know what Facebook has right now, what universe has given to Facebook. There are many such stories. LinkedIn, why do you have to do anywhere else? Think about a very own example in India, Baba Ramdev. I learned pranayam watching the television shows of Baba Ramdev, and so many people he was teaching yoga. Now, think about it. A yogi who gave so much, and what did universe give back to him? Even if he doesn't want it, he has a humongous empire at this point of time. So, guys, it's not just individuals; it's about businesses also. This principle that abundance starts with giving is absolutely true and very much viable for everything. Now, with the principle of abundance starts with giving and the universal principle that we follow, and then realization that, hey, how wonderful stage that United Nations has set. How do we combine these things together and really take it to the next phase, really take it to the next set of people, next set of change makers that we need? And I started my journey meeting a lot of people. And to my surprise, I went to Japan, I went to Indonesia, I went to Thailand, I went to Singapore, besides India, traveled all across India. After 2017, when I came to India and moved to Singapore, during that time, I realized, except for Japan, I did not see localization of SDGs. I really did not see people really know what has to be done. Do they even know what these things are? They are meant for such people. Then I met so many wonderful individuals, and some of them are here today, and I'm so excited to be around these people. I'm so honored to be to be introducing this event today, right? And these people have dedicated their lives for doing something wonderful. And trust me, when I'm saying that they have dedicated their lives for something wonderful, does not mean that they are not doing well for themselves. I've seen everyone who has dedicated their lives for doing something awesome. There is abundance for them, which is being created. And abundance does not necessarily always mean money, right? It's not necessarily funds. It is love, it is resources, it is reputation, it is respect, it is everything that you have. So that was a decision that was made partially in 2016, and I'll come to that very interestingly. I have a very dear friend here today who will talk, who has transformed this journey, but I'll come to that probably in some time. But that journey that started in 2016, in 2018 it took shape. 2018 we decided we will take a small step. We are not a big agency. We don't want to become a big agency. We don't want to become a commercial organization. We do not want to become a marketing property. What can we do to help these change makers around the world? And that's when we decided that let's bring all of them on a single forum. These are the people who are building the giving economy. We are all somewhere in our thoughts, without realizing, we are building an economy where giving comes first. It is not last. So far, for years together, people have been thinking about giving, that, hey, I've made so much, let me do something for the society. Let me give back. I want to change that. And everyone, I think, who are here today, they believe in that. We want to move that giving from last to the first. It has to start with giving. Abundance starts with giving. So how about we build an economy where everything that begins that economy starts with giving? Could be an intention, simple form could be an intention, or it could be, your resources, whatever you could do to build that giving economy. All these wonderful people, what they have done, how about capturing that information at one single location, bringing all of them in a very small single community? Can all of these change makers, we call them as giving economy change makers, they come together and consolidate their learnings, their wisdom into best practices, master classes, workshops, whatever they can do, right? Can we all consolidate all of that together and keep it ready year after year to help new change makers in the society to learn from and expedite their impact, right? You don't necessarily have to reinvent the wheel. It's all about, if you want to make an impact, you can learn from somebody who has already done that. It's as simple as a very wise computer programming veteran can help you save a million lines of code if you follow the right advice. Same thing applies to the impact industry as well. And like, why can't we apply those agile principles, those modern methods in impact segment? And again, in my personal opinion, I was not a big fan of impact assessment or all the big talks that we do. I was like, how do we help individuals, empower individuals and organizations to make that impact? Instead of talking about all the big things that we go over all over the media and all that stuff. Everything that we see, you put SDGs and you'll see a lot of data. But when you go on the ground, people do not know about it. If they do not know about it, they are not aware that there are donors around the world who want to help them make their impact happen. But if they are not discovered, they are not aligned, that's not going to happen. So with that mission in mind, in 2018, we started the first Giving Economy Changemakers Summit. It was a very small summit, happened in Mumbai. Last year, in 2019, we were able to do it in a couple of cities. We did it virtually in Singapore, physically in Delhi, and in Nagpur. And this year, we all were supposed to be in Santa Clara Convention Center. Unfortunately, we all have gone through this transformation that COVID, in form of COVID, has touched our lives. And I think there are opportunities in the chaos. We all have survived or are surviving, and not many, not everyone was able to get out of it, but the humanity came together to help everyone, right? This was another instance. This year we realized we do not want to cancel this. Let us take this to globe. Let's take this to the entire world, right? Let us touch the humanity and try to bring everyone possible. And I'm so glad. With just a simple phone calls, in a couple of days, we were able to bring all our lovely friends from around the world together to come and share their experiences, share their wisdom, and accept the honor that we have come up with. So, guys, there will be a lot of discussions today. There will be a lot of discussions today about the GC awards, what kind of awards we have, why do we do that. While doing the introduction of awards, we'll talk about it. Why people like Kunal is here, Chitra is here, Dr. Pathak is here, Manilal is here. So many wonderful people. Sandeep is here. So many wonderful people are here, right? Rajan is here. So why are they here? We'll talk about it. I would simply end my presentation in 2 minutes by simply mentioning that a request to everyone. Please hear this session entirely with open heart. Think about it that every person who is coming to speak has an intention to do something good for the society, for the life on this planet. Not just humans, not just animals, but the entire life on this planet and every environment. So give your attention and give your attention to all other wonderful people who are going to talk after their awards for a few minutes. Listen to them. Give your honest intentions to them. So these next 2 days, a lot of learning, a lot of awards. And with this, what I'm going to do right now is, I'm of course going to hand it over to the wonderful Nitin and Kritika. But before Nitin and Kritika introduces our next guest, I want to say a few words. How we met, as I was mentioning, how we met. It was 2016, it was my birthday, July, and I was taking a red eye to be in New York and from San Francisco. And I meet this wonderful gentleman. The moment I hear him, it's like, oh my God, this guy has something different. He's something different. He has put together a summit. Was very humble. I was a very normal guy being invited there to interact, to talk, to do wonderful session there. I just fell in love with that overall environment, right? And that was no one other than Kunal. Kunal Sood started this journey. So no matter what I say today, there was this trigger, that fire that was, that started at the Nova Summit 2016. So with that, I will, take your adieu for a few minutes. And probably I'll come back. Over to you, Nitin and Kritika, to introduce Kunal, our first keynote speaker. Thank you. I'm still on stage, guys. You can book me.
A big round of applause, everyone. Show me your reactions out here so that even Chet is visible, seeing. And thank you so much for setting the tone for the evening, Chet. And what he said, how many of you guys think what he said moved something within you? Like when I was listening to Chet, it came from his heart. It was not just him speaking something, it came from within him that genuinely abundance starts with giving. Share your reactions. How did you feel when Chet shared that lesson, maybe, which his mother gave? Thank you, Auntie, for giving that lesson to him. Thank you so much for these reactions. And with this, let's move to the introduction of someone who is an integral part of Giving Economy Changemakers Summit 2020. Well, it's a pleasure to introduce the second host, Professor Deepak Trivedi. Well, he's the MD and CEO of Dainik Bhaskar newspaper and chairman of Nagrik Foundation. In his 25-year career in journalism, he has worked with many leading newspapers and has been accredited by many prestigious ministries and departments for his excellence in regards to work for poverty eradication, gender equality, and sustainable development. Someone who is the founder of SDG, Sustainable Development Goals, Chopal, and Nagrik Foundation, which are the philanthropic segment of Dainik Bhaskar. Let's welcome with your reactions. Come on, my dear attendees, my friends. Come on, share your reactions. Yes, yes, yes. Claps, claps. So, the only way for the next 2 days you could stay connected to the speaker and something which could motivate them is sharing your reactions so that they understand, okay, you are connecting. So, yes, yes, shower those blue hearts for the person who is going to be with us for the next 2 days. With this, let me invite Mr. Deepak on the stage. Please welcome him with a warm round of applause via your reaction. React, react, react. The stage is all yours, sir.
Good evening, greetings, namaste to everyone and all present here at to the GEC 2020. We are celebrating global economy change makers. They are real change makers. They are not presidents and policy makers. They are not rich and famous. They are ordinary men and women who do extraordinary things for one reason: to create change in their own communities. Real men, rural men, youth, and women. In fact, these are people who will move mountains rock by rock to realize their vision. They are real change makers and they are standing up to make a difference. Today, we, Nagrik Foundation and Crowdera Foundation, salute, celebrate, and stand up with the change makers in solidarity to support, appreciate, recognize, respect, their mission, giving more power, standing with them for a better world. At Nagrik Foundation, under the SDG Chopal initiative, inspired by the Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi, his vision Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas and Sabka Vishwas, we are committed to help support change makers on ground, the grassroots, NGOs who have been doing great work with communities as Sankalp Se Siddhi. SDG action by each contributor is a huge milestone going forward to create the future we want and be the change we wish to see in the world. 2020 gave us many challenges that we could never have prepared for. But we get to choose its ending. We know that youth hold the key to change the world. Connecting youth to local resources, supporting SDG awareness, and localizing, engaging with youth, women on livelihood support. These are just the stories of some of the passionate young change makers that we support at SDG Chopal initiative, led by Nagrik Foundation with the solidarity support of over 50 partners organizations. But the odds are against us. Support for youth people still runs thin, and Nagrik Foundation, SDG Chopal and Crowdera Foundation have come together to fill in the gaps through leadership training, toolkits, skill development, and the mentorship. We support young leaders who are addressing the most pressing challenges that the world faces. Every young leaders we support has their why, the reason that compels them to do good for others. We want to empower all young leaders to fight for their why. Through our programs, we are able to develop young leaders at an unparalleled global scale and offer targeted support to youth-led initiatives. To date, we have provided support and training to thousands of change makers from every corner of the globe. This hashtag Giving Tuesday, let's commit to give back to society collectively and enable build back strongly, which is inclusive and sustainable. We ask you to share on social media hashtag GEC2020 and hashtag SDG Chopal, celebrating and empowering change makers on ground, enabling localization of sustainable development goals. SDGs, sustainable development goals, as we look at and promote is self-development goals. Once the self is taken care of them, he or she is practically in a position to contribute in the immediate ecosystem and support development around sustainable development goals. Friends, awareness is the key which are driving largely enabling people to be part of movement and contribute. The mission of SDG Chopal is to empower citizens, stakeholders, youth, women, children, enabling localization of sustainable development goals. Nagarika Foundation is started over 25 years with a mission to serve communities in need and have done some great impactful work. Believing in the giving economy where giving comes first, not last. This exactly aligned with our mission, with that of a Crowdera, and work on ground, supporting communities and grassroots scale up, enabling digital transformation of philanthropy world and NGOs. We jointly aim at a goal of 1 million grassroots and charities supported in this mission by 2030. Sustained growth is required, particularly in the poorest regions, to catch up with decent living standards and to live a life of dignity, opportunity, and hope. At last, we call all to join us in this mission for good, for a better world, leaving no one behind. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Namaskar.
Thank you so much, Deepak sir, for that wonderful speech that you shared. And sorry for the technical glitch. Deepak sir is from Dainik Bhaskar. So sorry for that technical glitch. So moving on, we would now like to introduce Kunal Sood. So I would like to introduce our first speaker, the second speaker of tonight, Mr. Kunal Sood. His life's motto is to make impossible possible by transforming billions of lives over the next decade. He is an internationally renowned entrepreneur who has founded companies like Novus, X-Fellows, and hashtag We the Planet, and also an award-winning innovator who is using technology to usher social impact from the slums of Mumbai to the health scientists of Harvard. Sood has a wide range of knowledge. Before presenting the living legend live, I would like to show a short video. Please give a warm welcome to Kunal Sood.
Climate change happened because of the wrong way we live. This is all coming from our everyday life. So we have to adjust our everyday life. We do not touch things which create a problem for the planet. So we don't use fossil fuel, we don't make waste, we don't do plastics and all kinds of things. So if we control our own life, we design our own life so that the planet is not harmed. So this is something will built into us, and that's why the problem of climate change will be solved.
The number of COVID-19 cases has gone well over 500,000 across the world.
It's important to be aware that this is a real threat to humanity. We should make best use of lifestyle strategies to optimize the well-being of our body.
So I want to talk about the next 20 years. And I want to say that I don't think any of us can fathom the transformation humanity is going to undergo. We are transforming what it means to be human.
Maybe some of these issues of our survival on Earth aren't somebody else's problem.
The reality is that everybody wants to change the world, but nobody wants to change. The change starts with us.
Our goal is to really democratize the idea of having men and women unite in action, is to truly come together and become go-givers and create massive transformative purpose-driven leaders that can do anything and change everything.
Protecting all life on the planet is important because biodiversity is not only necessary for our mutual survival, but allows us to learn about ourselves and the planet on which we live. All of our resources rely on biodiversity and other life on Earth, and the losses we have already suffered have been devastating.
You are the world, the sky, the earth, the oceans, and the stars.
We can live in a world with a scarcity mindset. We can live in a world with an abundance mindset. We can live in a world of fear. We can live in a world of great anticipation. The choice is ours.
And I do believe that we can change ourselves, the world, each other, and we can be a true force for change. We have to. We have no choice.
What is the most you can hope for in life? What is the most we can hope for the planet?
Hello, we are Martina and
Katharina.
We live in Germany and we support We the Planet because we love this planet and we want to make sure that it stays as beautiful as it is for this generation and the next ones to come.
We will face the brunt of this climate crisis. We only have this Earth to live on, and we don't have time. And so we support We the Planet.
We want to contribute to keep our planet as beautiful as this. So I would like to inspire people that they are motivated to do the best what they can do to keep our planet as it is.
My wish for the world is more support, protection and care for the important time of pregnancy and early childhood, so all kids can have the chance to raise up secure and get the best possible of development.
All right, I guess I'm on stage. Wow. Hi, everyone. My name is Kunal Sood. I'm the founder of Novus, Ex-Fellows, and now We the Planet. Thank you for having me. I thought I'd start with why, because one of my friends taught me a long time ago that when you start something, you must understand why before you go into what, how, and where, and when. And so let's start with who am I? I come from India, so I was born in Chennai. Well, back then it was Madras, but now it's Chennai. And growing up, I was very different. I was a misfit both at home as well as in society at large in India. And I say that with all reverence to the fact that India is an amazing country with extraordinary citizens. We have some of the best leaders in the world, as you can well know, from proof from the highest levels of our own Prime Minister to Satya Nadella, Sundar Pichai, and all of them in the tech world that are truly changing the game in everything that we experience here and now, including this. This is a part of that experience. And thank you, Lalit, the founder of Airmeet, is a dear friend and someone I support deeply with regards to all of the work he's doing. He's made it possible for us to make the impossible possible, even here and now during COVID-19. So I always liken myself to a black Labrador, which is a dog, which is loyal, trusting, and a great rescue dog, and sometimes a good hunter, that was born into a group of golden retrievers. And I say that with the fact that I always saw myself more as the black lab than the black sheep of the family, because I still love and cherished my family because they really supported me, even though I was so different and my dreams were so different from the usual suspects. I didn't grow up wanting to be a lawyer, engineer, maybe a little bit of a doctor syndrome, but definitely didn't have the traditional path set out for me. So I started out very young with the idea of how can I change the world? And I started this from a very fascinating perspective of the hero's journey, right? So I embraced the hero's journey within. And during that time, I was in school. And I don't know if any of you out there resonate with this, but I wasn't the cool kid in school. I was more like the outlier and someone that was bullied. But I wasn't small, so I wasn't like this tiny, weak kid that was bullied. I was more like this interesting big guy who was gentle and just wanted to be friends. But these folks would come up, and bullies, I don't know if you know this or if you've been bullied, they don't usually come up as one. They come in little packs. So they're like little wolf packs that try to attack you, right? So me being who I was, the black Labrador, was trying to be affectionate and trying to be a people pleaser and win their trust. And I never fought back because I just kept getting bullied. And what happened in that process is I saw myself transgress into the victim, right? And what happened at that point was I learned very quickly that all the negative stories we tell ourselves when we're in victim mode, which is I don't belong, I'm not needed, no one loves me, I should, get rid of myself. And this voice started getting louder and louder and louder. It didn't help me. But then, as I mentioned, I had a very loving and trusting family that believed in me, especially my mother and my dad at the time, especially my mom. And she always told me that she always stood up for me. She was like this massive pillar of strength, which all women, I believe, in the world, especially in India, are to many of us men that have done so well in our lifetimes or even succeeded against all odds, which is my case. I defied the odds. And eventually, from victim, I realized that my internal story was much stronger than my outward narrative. And at this point, these bullies would come, they would attack me, and I wouldn't know what to do. And then suddenly, boom, there was this shift where something happened. And from a black Labrador, I transformed into a Black Panther. And all of a sudden, I had this sense of strength and omnipotent power. So all of a sudden, these bullies that used to hit me suddenly became afraid of who I'd become, because I could stand up for myself. I took a stand. And there was this strong sense of purpose and leadership that embodied my soul. And when that happened, I realized I was not afraid anymore. And I took on all four of them at once. I got into a lot of trouble for this. Like, serious trouble if you were my age and, in the 80s in school, you were going to get beaten black and blue for doing this. But it was worth it because what I learned was more important than the beating and the shaming and the consequences of standing up for myself is that the most important thing is to take a stand and that you can transform from being a victim into becoming the hero of your own story. So with that, and I really started on a new journey where I stopped bullying the bullies because I'd become like the bully's bully, right? But then I saw that if you look at it like the uh, jungle, all these other animals that weren't like me, weren't big, weren't powerful, were also being bullied, and they all came to me for protection, right? And then I realized it was my sole responsibility to protect the helpless, just like a warrior would or a guardian would. So I stood guard of myself as well as those I loved. And that was one of the most powerful lessons I learned. I learned how to protect myself while being in service of others that needed the same kind of protection. And then instead of using that energy to like be a bully's bully, which is not productive, I started to channel it into more important endeavors such as, serving others. And that energy I took and it really started my hero's journey down this path. Now, fast forward 20 years, um, I had the gift of, in 2010, having a life changing experience, actually, which was started in 2007 by the demise of my late and dear Dr. Cherian, who was one of the countries, and I would say the world's most extraordinary physicians of our time. He was a Padma Vibhushan awardee, but the beauty is he never sought title or fame or money. All he believed in was giving. And just like Chet said, abundance begins with giving, and he truly lived that in his life, in every breath, because he was in service to others at all times. I believe abundance begins from within. So if you have inward transformation, you can have all the more effective outward impact. So I was at UCSF School of Global Health, and at the time I was a lead scientist, a global health scientist, with Harvard on this really groundbreaking project that was started actually by the Harvard School of Public Health because of the movie Slumdog Millionaire, if you guys remember that movie. And I was so lucky. I felt like this was a godsend, opportunity, and I'm going to go back home and change the world now that I've got all this opportunity. And I'm not exactly from the slums, so I'm from Harvard and I'm from UCSF trained, and I've got all the resources. I'm just going to transform this whole slum and bring them all out of poverty. From my ivory tower thinking, when I hit the ground, I wasn't running. In fact, I got down on my knees, because I was so overwhelmed by the amount of suffering and poverty I witnessed. And this is someone who's lived in India, grew up around poverty, and I experienced it as part of the culture. But it's a different experience when you go into their homes, when you go right into their habitat as an observer, as a scientist, and start to realize that, well, at least I realized that, my God, there's nothing I can do here. No, there's no amount of money, there's no amount of power, there's no amount of resource that I have personally to make these grandiose dreams I had in the ivory tower become a reality on the ground. And at that point was my first learning in humility, right? And being humble, which is one of the most powerful things you can do in life when you're learning something, is to learn to serve something that's larger than yourself. And that's exactly what I did. I was down on my knees and I got back up because I realized at that point, you know what? I'm going to surrender all of my ego and ideas and dreams, and I'm just going to listen and serve this community. And in doing so, I had the most extraordinary transformation from within. And that's why I say abundance begins from within, because these extraordinary human beings had no life. Come on, they couldn't even have water on a daily basis. What life is that? Electricity was a luxury. Being in a shanty home was a blessing. And to actually have that soul and see that as a life worth living, to me, is probably the most amazing lesson I learned. So I learned through my service, through my commitment to their home and not trying to change them, right? That true abundance as well as true service matters most, because what matters the most in life, I believe, is not about where you come from, Harvard, Stanford, Penn, Wharton. It doesn't matter. What matters most is you're honored, cherished, and loved by the community you serve. And that is the biggest lesson I took away from that experience, that it's most important that you are cherished and loved by those that you serve, and you serve them without fear and without favor, to see that we win together, what we call the omni-win. So the giving economy, I believe, really speaks to that. And what ended up happening, which was ironic, is they transformed me, and I went from me, myself, and I, from me to we. And that's really what inspires my work today for We the Planet, and how I do the work at We the Planet. But I'm going to take it back a few notches. While in the slums of Bombay, or Mumbai, now Mumbai, I realized that I used to listen to the soundtrack, and I don't know how many of you do this, but I'm going to share a little secret with you of how I've succeeded. A lot of my success has been visualizing things, and sometimes those visuals are not so realistic, but it's okay. Just keep imagining them. And I used to listen to music, right? And there's the soundtrack that I loved listening to, which was from the movie Blood Diamonds, which is about this extraordinary cast of Leonardo DiCaprio and Jaimin, and they both get together and they somehow manage to defeat the odds. And I'm not going to spoil the movie for you, so you should watch it. But anyway, the music of the movie gave me my own vision of what happens at the end of that movie. And I had this vision in my mind's eye that I'm going to be the guy that empowers people like this to share their voice and give a voice to the voiceless, right? And during my time after that, having been a global health scientist, I pivoted, because one of the biggest problems I realized that they had was business modeling and funding. So I went to business school. And during that time at B school, I learned about something called TED, which is a platform where you can share ideas worth spreading. And, your ideas should ideally be one that changes the world, right? And then I had the blessing of becoming a TEDx organizer and curator. And what happened was I had a big dream. My first dream was to do it at my alma mater, honoring the legacy of Dr. Cherian at TEDx UCSF. And so we did TEDx San Francisco. We had everyone from Deepak Chopra to, Vinod Khosla. So we had both the doctors as well as the funders on the same table to help reimagine global health in our time. Then I thought, how can I make this bigger? How can I do more? And I dreamed of TEDx the United Nations. And sure enough, with enough sweat, blood, and tearing, we managed to make that a reality in 2 years. And in 2013, we staged the first ever TEDx at the United Nations. And during that time, I saw the power of these two worlds converge, TED and the UN, ideas turning into action and policy. And that was the most transformative experience I, as a curator, had ever felt. So I surrendered my path from wanting to do a family business or making a lot of money to really being in service of others, of the people that want to share an idea or turn an idea into a better world, into action for a better world. And by doing this, I have now, come to this place where I started a new venture called Novus in 2015. And 2016, as Jait mentioned, I got my moonshot. And I was really excited. I was like, wow, this can't be happening. Now, it was a moonshot with a caveat, right? Because they gave me only 6 weeks to do that entire summit from soup to nuts. And when you're doing summits in real life, it's not like air meet where you can turn on a button. It's a lot more involved in logistics and planning and execution. But God was on my shoulder. At least I felt like Dr. Cherian was sitting on one side of my shoulder and the force of, the divine on the other. And somehow we made the impossible possible, and we had extraordinary souls and citizens of the world like Jait and Peter Diamandis and ambassadors of different countries show up, and Anusha Ansari, who's one of my favorite, astronauts on the planet, come in and change our world. And one of the most extraordinary things I saw happen was this shift from being strong from within to strong on the outside. And Jait was one of those few people that came up to me recently. Look, I don't do things with favor. I don't get anything out of this. I actually don't make any money. In fact, we lose, but the truth is you don't do things for money, always. See, this is the beauty of life. There are different drivers for different people. And what I've learned is that we're driven by our past experiences, not by our future, right? Really speaking, when you look at your past, it really drives your future. Your future pulls you, but your past drives you. That's why you have to learn from your past and make it a better future, right? And for me, that's been my biggest driver. So when people come up to me and say, Kunal, you changed my life. First, I scratch my head and say, how? And really, a summit change your life? You must have a pretty pathetic life. But the truth is, that's reflective of me. I'm like not taking my own work seriously, or I don't think it's, important enough. But then it comes again and again and again. And when it becomes a constant voice, right, that people say this, then you realize, okay, you're doing something right, or you're doing something that matters. And so I started to ask myself the question, do I matter? And that's a question I would ask all of you to ask yourselves, because that's all that matters in life. It's not about the amount of money you have in your bank account. In fact, to be very honest with you, the better of the two billionaires is one that impacts 1 billion lives positively in his lifetime than one that leaves $1 billion in his bank account and does nothing with it except makes more money. Money, I believe, is very powerful energy, but it's like knowledge. Unless you strengthen that knowledge and put it into action with massive execution, it's a complete waste of energy. Now, the two of them are like the magic bullet. So I'd say, while you give, learn how to receive. And so that was Novus. That's how Novus was born. And Jait invited me recently, and I teared up because the truth is, it had been a while since COVID-19 that I got the call of someone saying, that your summit changed my life. This past year has been very difficult. We've pivoted, we've changed everything, we've gone online, we've done a couple of events on AirMeet, which is an amazing platform, but we're not able to be together. So when you get the call from someone far and dear, not near and dear because he's far away, here and now, and they tell you that, Kunal, your summit inspired my work in the world, it gives me hope, right? And I believe that's the one strength that we all must cultivate. Because, when you can bear your own pain, I know a lot of us out there are suffering here and now, young and old, because of COVID-19. We can't shove, what's happening in the world under the rug. A lot of people have lost lives. A lot of people have lost loved ones, So I know I, as well as you, we're bearing a lot of pain. But the power of bearing pain is that it can turn into the greatest gift life has to offer. Because when you can bear your pain, and when you can bear others' pain, then you can give them the gift of hope. True hope for a better future, that we can actually become a better society together. I do believe that this is the most important thing in life right now. We all need a little hope right now. You know, the Sustainable Development Goal is all about hope. But if hope doesn't turn into action, then you're just wasting your time out there, you know. And it takes a lot of courage to find hope. Your ego will get in your way. Trust me, I have a massive ego. It's not like I don't have an ego. You don't get far in life without an ego, by the way. You know, it's just that you have to learn how to embrace your ego and pick up, you know, your whether it's a sword or your bow and arrow, as Arjuna did, and you have to fight, you know. And I believe in being a fighter. I believe in being able to fight others, because there will always be bullies. And bullies show up in all forms. They're not always the guys who are like big and strong and bullyish. Some of them are really weird and introvert and, you know, have these sleazy like ways of being passive aggressive and hurting you in ways that you bleed to death without knowing that you're bleeding, right? And the reason I share this here and now with you is because that's very important. In the past 1 year, I have learned who are my friends, who are my enemies, who are my bystanders, and who just take me for granted. So I really believe that giving is important, but what's more important is receiving. You have to receive in order to give. You have to put your oxygen mask on first before you can actually go out there and fight a war, you know, or put other masks on other people. And really speaking, there are 3 lessons in life that I believe matter the most here and now. You know, you're all entrepreneurs out there, so you can go, you know, if you want to, you can go fast, really fast. You know, but there's an African proverb that says that if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you go together. So for me, I believe that today with technology and all of the resources we have here and now, we can go faster and further together. But there's one problem that I really, really want to address in the last few minutes that I have here. I don't believe we have a technology or a resource problem. We have a massive leadership problem. We have a massive problem with unity. We have a massive problem with the ego. We're not embracing our egos. We're shying away from it. We're using humor and, you know, different ways of demeaning each other, both the left and the right, whether it's Republican or Democrat or Congress in India versus BJP. And if we stay in those 2 stances where we make fun of each other or even vehemently disagree with each other, we're never going to come together, right? So for me, that's why we started We the Planet, which was the new endeavor that we have here and now. We have to go above ourselves. We the people have failed. I personally believe that the people have failed each other, have failed the planet. And if we don't transform ourselves from the inside out, if we don't have real inner transformation and societal transformation, we will fail to be able to deliver on the global goals of the United Nations. So for me, that is the most important thing, that we rise above ourselves. We serve something that's larger than ourselves, and we serve We the Planet. We the Planet is really about service. It's about making the impossible possible, which is something that I pride myself on in life. You know, it's about being strong no matter how small you are or how big you are. Sometimes when you're bigger, you've got to become smaller to become more powerful. Sometimes you're smaller, you have to become bigger to become more powerful. But the more important piece is you never forget who you are, where you come from. You never lose sight of your values. And I think that's the most important thing. You need to have your values turn into action. So if you can live your values in action and align them with your strengths and abilities, whether it's, you know, being an engineer or a doctor or a lawyer, whatever you decide to do in life, you know, that alignment is most important. And that's what's going to really fuel the giving economy. If we can align our actions with our values, and if we can go further and faster together, than ever before, where we make impacting 1 billion lives much more important than becoming a billionaire. I'm not saying you don't become a billionaire. Go for it. Become a billionaire. See how lonely it is up at the top. I know I have many friends who are there. Those that have become a billionaire and actually made it are the ones who serve others, like Bill Gates, for example. When you start to serve others, when you start to serve something that's larger than yourself, when you start to save lives, you find true abundance because you start giving from a place without fear or favor. And, I feel that that is the most important thing, that you give without fear or favor. You create without the need to receive because you need something filled that's, not already in you. You really need to find that way to be able to receive from a place of humility. And I really believe that's the most important thing here and now, that we all need to find the humility to unite. Unite in action, the left and the right, women and men, the elders and the youth, which is so divided, to come together to make the impossible possible, to create something that's much, much larger than ourselves. And with that, I leave you with this final phrase that really drives my life. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the judgment that something that's more important than fear, like love and compassion, trumps fear. The brave may not live forever, but the cautious do not live at all. Thank you for having me. I wish you all the best in the giving economy. And as Chet said it best, abundance starts with giving. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Kunal sir. Thank you so much. Just give me a second, sir. My camera is
Sure.
somewhat.
Yeah, you just have to turn it on, I think. There's like an
Yeah, I've
icon.
already turned it on. I don't know why it's not showing. I would request the management team, maybe you could let me exit once and re-enter.
Sure. And thank you guys for your attention and time. And I hope I meet you guys someday. Come to New York.
Oh, definitely.
Come visit me in New York. I'm coming back to India, hopefully at some point soon.
I hope we all come without masks and PPE kits. It's so hot wearing a PPE kit and traveling around.
Oh, I can imagine. I can only imagine. But the truth is, for now, I think masks save lives of our loved ones, especially older than us, and at risk. So I would say that whatever the science dictates, let's do it till that time when we don't need masks. And God willing, we never need PPE kits. But for now, I think science should trump our own beliefs of what's important.
True. So I have a question for you, Kunal sir.
Sure. Sure.
I think it's around 26 minutes ago you said something which is still echoing in my head, and I think many of the attendees would also, kind of affected by it in a certain way, and I would love if they could share their reactions too. From being a victim to becoming a hero of your own story. When you said that line, something moved within me as a human, because I was feeling down and low before the event. Not just before the general, because of COVID and everything, you fear things.
Sure. Yeah.
And here you are saying, maybe I was victimizing myself as a human, but how do you make that transition? How do you get that courage of, becoming a better version of yourself and not being the victim?
Okay, so
love that line of yours. A big round of applause from my side personally.
Thank you
for that line. Thank you so much, Kunal. Yeah.
So I'll be honest with you, it's not easy. You go through a lot of pain. Buddha himself teaches you, right? A dear friend of mine, Punacha, who's the CEO of the Chopra Foundation, with Deepak Chopra and Deepak as well, they always say that, the warrior helps the helpless and the monk gives hope to the hopeless, right? And I feel like victims are usually helpless and hopeless, both in one. So you've lost all hope, okay, and you feel helpless, right? And you have to go through that cycle of violence, and it's not always you that makes you your victim. Let me tell you that sometimes people make you feel that way. So don't blame yourself. That's very important that you distinguish when the outside world is hurting you, right? Because that's more important, that you know that they're hurting you. But then you have to get the strength from within and then match that to the strength outside in the world. Because I believe that suffering is very powerful if you get through it. Some people don't get through suffering. We're seeing it here and now. Some people suffer to the nth of the world and die in COVID, right? So the truth is, suffering is a part of the human experience. It's not something that we can avoid. If you can embrace your suffering in a way that the divine kind of intervenes, and I really believe this, I believe in some way, whatever we call out there, Atma, it intervenes and gives you, it's a superpower. That's what the superpower is. It's God, whatever you believe in. I'm Hindu, so I believe in probably a million gods out there. I think it's very important. Yeah, exactly. Millions of gods. And the truth is, there's a way in which if you can lean into your pain and your suffering, if you can learn from your victimhood and you can find your hero, it's very difficult to find that hero within. It's not easy. And it'll keep coming up. The victim hero story comes up different parts in your life. So you may even be Jeff Bezos. Trust me. You can be Jeff Bezos. In fact, Chet said it himself. From 6 years, he went from 0 to 60. And in 6 months, he went from 60 to 0. Right? Yes. So that process of, being able to get back up and keep moving forward, that's what I believe. That's how winning is done. That's how you become a hero. You get knocked down to the ground, okay? But you still have the courage, the moral courage, and the capacity to get back up and keep moving forward. And you don't throw a punch. You don't need to throw a strong punch. You need to take punches. The more tough punches you can take, the stronger you get. And then you throw one punch when necessary, in a way that you truly help people become the best version of themselves. So you inspire to become a hero, not a bully. That's what I believe, Wow. So when you have to fight back, you fight back. But you start, I believe the fight is usually inside here. And once you win that fight, the outside becomes an easier fight.
Wow.
I couldn't stop myself. Seriously, I really couldn't stop myself. This is kind of a bad habit that I have somehow. I just jump on the stage, and thankfully,
good habit.
Right here, I was able to just quickly jump on the stage and wanted to take this opportunity to be on the stage again with you. Right?
Yeah, of course. No, I mean, thank you for having me.
This is so inspiring, and I am reading all the comments here, wonderful comments, and everyone is so inspired. So guys, I really want to say that if any of you would ever want to connect with something very interesting, anything that you want to connect with Kunal, I'm very happy to make an introduction.
Yeah, please, absolutely.
Kunal would happily help everyone. And of course, we're going to continue here, but then I just wanted to come here again, Kunal, and express my deepest gratitude for you. You to sharing this wonderful personal story, personalizing it, giving this thing. I think everyone is moved, and including me. I was already moved in 2016, but today, after listening to the real story, your own story, right? I have many of touch points in my life where I did hard reset. I call it as a hard reset. When life shows you the mirror, then you have to do a hard reboot of your life, not a soft reboot. And you reminded me of all those wonderful things. I mean, I call all of them wonderful. Those were at that point of time dreadful situations, terrible things. But today I call them as wonderful things because they were the wonderful moment that you transform your life. And changing from not just thinking about doing. I mean, today, unfortunately, we are either victims of our own victimization, or we are victim of our own hallucinations. People are hallucinating that I am doing good, and they're just happy with that hallucination that I am doing good. They do not see what is the real good they are trying to do. It's just like entrepreneurship around the world, especially in India lately, what has happened, right? Everyone is in love with the feeling of being an entrepreneur, right? Same way, everyone is in love of the feeling of being a philanthropist, feeling of being a good guy. But I just invite everyone to look into the mirror and ask yourself questions. Are you the real heroes of your life? And from this wonderful story that we heard from Kunal, can we try and find out what is the real meaning? And by virtue of Kunal and some other wonderful friends of mine, I have met these wonderful billionaire folks where they are. They might be where they are, but it is not because they have become billionaire, right? They are because they had these values which were slowly coming up in there. You may see a different perception, the perception that media has played, but when you know them, when you know them, you realize who they really are. I'll take one more minute before we all go off the stage, Kunal. And one story which I am technically not supposed to share about one of the very, very, very loved and famous singers in Bollywood, because he does not like to talk about. This gentleman, when he was a young guy, interning with a very famous Bollywood music composer and a singer, was making very, very small amount of money, like 25,000 rupees. At that stage, when he was that stage, he was spending almost 50% of 60% of whatever he was making on charity, the real charity, grassroots, right? And then time comes, he's an awesome guy. Another friend of his calls him that he say, hey, we have this event, 19 lakhs would be the thing. Would you want to show up? And he's like, hey, sorry, I can't, because I'm in a truck taking relief material to Nepal. This is real thing, and he has never spoken about it. My request to people is don't shy away. Share why you do things so we can inspire others. So, with that, I think, yes, you guys, you can take us both out of the stage, and we'll come back probably very soon when we begin the awards. All right. Thank you so much, Kunal, once again. Thank you.
No, thank you. And Chet, I just want to share one thing before I go. I just want to share that you're an inspiration to so many people in the world. So thank you for all of your inspiring work. And the giving economy is the future. So you're truly a trailblazer when it comes to setting us ablaze around our massive transformative purpose and being able to make the impossible possible. So thank you for being an agent of making the impossible possible.
Thank you so much, Kunal sir, for taking out the time. And at the end of the day, guys, I was writing notes while we were listening to both Chet and Kunal sir. Thank you so much, Chet, for jumping in. I definitely ended up writing a few lines, what you said, And with this, I would also request you guys to kind of keep a diary pen, because next 2 days is going to be a roller coaster ride with a lot of learning and magic. In fact, a bag of magic tricks which you will be taking together in your heart, and SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, being an integral part of your life too. Well, before moving again and making you guys the hero of your own story, after that motivating speech of Mr. Kunal, let's move forward and let me introduce Mr. Douglas Reagan, who has worked in youth development with NGOs, local and national governments, and the United Nations for the past 25 years. Well, currently, he is the unit leader for youth and livelihoods for UN Habitat, managing UN Habitat's global portfolio on youth development in over 75 developing countries. And he has managed 3 flagship youth programs for UN Habitat: the Urban Youth Fund, Youth 21 Initiative, and One Stop Youth Resource Centers. Well, this is not it, guys. Not only this, but also he is an author, a co-author, in fact, and co-author of a number of research and policy publications on urban youth issue faced by marginalized young people in developing and underdeveloped countries. Let's hear it out. A message from Mr. Douglas Reagan. A big round of applause, guys. Reactions nikalo apne, come on, show some reactions in the form of reactions. Yes, yes, Blue Heart, great. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Doug Reagan. I work with UN Habitat in the Human Rights and Social Inclusion Unit. I would like to congratulate the Drivey Foundation and Crowdera for this year's hosting of the Giving Economy Changemaker Awards. There is no more important time than to start to recognize the leadership, the ability to affect change that young people globally can make. We are facing a horrible pandemic, a pandemic which is killing and sickening many. We're also seeing people not able to go to school, that can't access proper health services. And there's no better time for us to start recognizing and supporting and encouraging these people to affect positive change in their communities. UN Habitat is the UN agency in charge of urban sustainability globally. And in part of urbanization, we see the issue of informality, especially informal settlements and slums where 1 billion people live. These billion people make so little money oftentimes, maybe less than $5 a day, but they survive, they go forward, they have communities, they have families. And it's these young people that oftentimes are standing up and helping these communities and affecting positive change. For example, UN Habitat is based in Nairobi, Kenya. We work closely with a lot of the young people here in informal settlements, and we've seen the heroic effort they have undertaken to protect their communities from COVID-19. This is amazing. And they also are utilizing, as young people often do, technology to do so, whether they're out geospatial mapping the informal settlements to find out where water stations can be placed so that people can wash their hands and access proper water and sanitation, a critical component of stopping the virus in terms of hygiene. Or whether it's just providing masks for the community, free masks that are made by women in the community, supported by many of the private sector and other people who have come forward and donated. So again, this is a really important time for us to be able to recognize these change makers, to recognize the digital transformation that they can undertake and impact positively their communities. So again, big congratulations. Really looking forward to seeing who is going to be the change makers this year. And we at UN Habitat stand by to help you in whatever.
Wow, that was interesting. Thank you, Douglas, for such a heartfelt and wonderful speech that you've given. We are inspired for whatever work you've been doing. So now we've reached another section of the event where our host, Mr. Chet Jain, and Mr. Deepak Dwivedi will felicitate the change makers who have achieved positive and outstanding changes through their initiatives and have brought an extraordinary impact in their community. So, let's welcome our host, Mr. Chet Jain, on stage again to introduce us with the motive and wonderful categories behind the Giving Economy Changemakers Award. Please welcome him again with a huge round of applause.
Thank you. Can we have Deepak ji join me as well? So, guys, before we talk about the awards, I just want to talk about a very interesting, lovely story that we have between me and Mr. Deepak here. I was looking for, we started a program. Crowdera decided while we were building Giving Economy, we are spreading this concept. We realized there was a major disparity in terms of resources that charities have around the world. We did a research in India and we did a research in Canada, and not exactly a research, but some data points around the world. And what we figured out was very disturbing. So India has apparently 3.2 million charities, highest in the world. And then when we talk about Canada, it has around 500,000 charities. So Indian registered, the government repository, NGO Dapan, has only approximately 90,000 charities of that registered, right? We anticipate that 90,000 charities registered on NGO Dapan might have potentially some digital tools or where they are, and we did research on those 90,000. So we were surprised to see that there are only 4,000 or 5,000 charities that have a website, and I'm saying simple website. I'm not even talking about a modern website with all the digital tools that are required for them to survive and raise. And of course, there are some humongous, large foundations, and there were very small things. So that was a disturbing data. Surprisingly, we thought maybe nations like Canada would be a little different. And in Canada, we did a small research with a database of 20,000 odd charities. The participants, and I think there were 20,000 interactions, 600 plus interviews, etc., etc. A very surprising data came up that even 60% charities in Canada, based on that data of the respondents, did not have digital tools, even websites, and that was very surprising. And here's where we are. People in Canada are not aware of SDGs. People in India are not aware of SDGs. People in Canada are not, aware that they really need digital tools to survive. And this was a long exercise that we were doing. And then we came up with a program called Reskilling Global Charities. And when I say reskilling global charities, I was like, how do we make them ready for the new world? If we really want to make an impact, like Kunal said, it cannot be just talk. It has to be some action. And action without, a talk without an action has no value. It is pure PR, right? And that's not right. How do we bring action to these people, to these organizations, was our goal. So we came up with a program called Reskilling Global Charities. And when we started this program, the thought was, let us give them digital tools, a free website, something where they can raise money, have a donate button, send receipts automatically, comply to whatever country they are in. We started with, of course, India and United States and Canada. With that in mind, and we were like, what will we do with digital tools if they don't even know how to leverage the modern methods of communication? So we were like, they need to be made literate about fundraising. So we thought fundraising literacy is also there. But both these things, having digital tools and fundraising literacy, were extremely incomplete about SDG awareness. So the program came in together was digital transformation, fundraising literacy, and SDG awareness for global charities. And the mission was defined that I know it's a big, we are a very small organization with few set of people, but the mission was big, and I believe that abundance starts with giving. The moment you put intentions, this universe will start putting together, people, wonderful people together. So while I was doing this exercise of finding out how do we achieve this humongous goal, the goal was, how do we transform 1 million charities by 2030 before the SDGs expire? Million charities, right? Million charities, that's big. And with that thought process, we began our journey. We reached close to 3,500, and with this, we were stuck somewhere. We were not able to get to a point. We were like, how do we reach? We do not have enough resources. It's all absolutely pro bono exercise, free exercise. It still requires money, funds for us to survive, to make it happen. But somewhere we'll have to figure out how do we make this thing happen. How do we take this message elsewhere? We figured out the processes, products, etc., everything to make it happen. But something was there. Humans were missing. A lot of humans that were required. That outreach was missing. And then I come across a wonderful gentleman called Mr. Deepak Drivey. Deepak has dedicated a humongous space on. Deepak is founder of Dainik Bhaskar and managing director and chairman of Dainik Bhaskar, primarily the UP, the largest part of Dainik Bhaskar group. And it was very surprising to see every piece of what you have on the newspaper is a real estate. You can sell it. And he made a commitment that he'll publish the sustainable development goals on Dainik Bhaskar every damn day till 2030. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. Who's this gentleman? I want to meet him. I want to talk to him. Because I saw an opportunity here. I am there wanting to do something this. I have wonderful people helping me out. Universe is connecting me with wonderful people. And then I meet this gentleman committed to take SDGs, localize the SDGs, take them to every small village. The goal that Deepak has was, I want to ensure that every small baby who's just grown up knows what SDGs are, because the goals are set up for his development. He should know what the development, whether it is a small farmer, whether it is a philanthropist, anyone, in Hindi we will call it as every bacha should know what SDGs are and how do we localize them. And with that mission, I was like, hey, I think yin and yang are like mixing. We were going with the yin, the spiritual thing of it, and the yang that was required. The action was required. Deepak had already put together, and this is where we like the SDG awareness piece of the overall equation was complete, and that's when we decided, hey, this is something very interesting. Let's join hands, because when you have such kind of a journey, you cannot do it alone. You need to keep bringing in lovely people together. And then he and I had a conversation, and we had wonderful people who were supporting Deepak, like Sandeep from ActionAid and others. They all came together, and we were like, wonderful. Now our mission is very much achievable. Can we set this goal and find the first milestone that we can achieve? Together, we joined hands to, make this dream a reality. Digital transformation for a million charities. I'm talking globally, but I think India is a humongous part of it. So first is with India. So the first milestone is India, and the milestone was 100,000 charities by end of 2022. In association with Nagrik Foundation and Crowdera Foundation joining hands together. How do we make this a reality? How do we help put our resources together and make this vision a reality? And that's how our partnership began. So going forward, these awards, GC Summit that we have been doing, we'll keep doing GC Summit very routinely, that will keep happening. But the awards going forward always will be with Nagrik Foundation. So Nagrik Foundation and Crowdera Foundation will together work on two major initiatives. One is digital transformation for 100,000 charities to million charities in next 10 years time frame, and SDG awareness overall nationwide. And with this particular partnership, we realized, let's make this thing happen. And over to you, Deepak, if you could share a few words before we talk about the awards.
We are very grateful to Chet and the entire team. पहली बार ऐसे देखने में लगा कि चेत से बात करने में कि हमारे रूरल इंडिया के बारे में चेत को जितनी समझ है और जितनी एक मजबूती के साथ, एक विल पावर के साथ ये कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहे हैं, ये देश के लिए, खास तौर से हमारे देश के रूरल इंडिया के अपलिफ्टमेंट के लिए बहुत गौरव की बात है। और आज के इस इवेंट के माध्यम से जो चेत और उनके साथ एसोसिएट्स हैं देश के अंदर एंड अब्रॉड, सारे लोगों की ताकत के बेस पर, उसकी शक्ति पर हम इस चीज को प्रतिज्ञा करते हैं, प्लेज करते हैं कि हम 2030 तक पूरे हिंदुस्तान में ही नहीं, अन्य देशों में ही एसडीजी लिटरेसी के लिए, एसडीजी अवेयरनेस के लिए और उसके इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के लिए जो हमारे पैरामीटर्स हैं, जो हमारी बाउंड्रीज हैं, उनमें काम करते हुए हम एक दुनिया के सामने एग्जाम्पलरी मॉडल पेश करना चाहेंगे कि सिविल सोसाइटी की शक्ति, पार्टनरशिप विद द पीपल कितनी बड़ी शक्ति है, इसका एहसास कराना चाहिए कि जिससे हमारी नेक्स्ट जनरेशन, हमारे आगे आने वाली पीढ़ी इस चीज को देखे कि इसके ये सोसाइटी की ताकत, उनकी अप्रोच और नॉन प्रॉफिट का असली कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है, फिलैंथ्रोपी की असली डिफिनेशन क्या है, जमीन पर फिलैंथ्रोपी किसको कहते हैं, इन सारे चीजों को हम लोग एक शोकेस में दुनिया के सामने रखना चाहेंगे। तो इसके लिए तन मन धन से सारे सहयोगियों के साथ मिलकर हम लोग एक उद्देश्य से एक साथ जुड़ गए हैं और एक साथ काम करेंगे। थैंक यू एवरीवन, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Deepak. So, guys, without any further ado, I think we should really start the moment that we have been waiting for, the most important part of this journey. I mean, of course, today we are going to felicitate a lot of wonderful people, but this journey of 2 days has started with Kunal's wonderful inspiration story, and now what we're going to do is very exciting. So, as we said, in 2018, we decided that we want to felicitate, honor these change makers, and these change makers could be a very wonderful set of people, right? Simple set of people. So I met a gentleman. I couldn't find his contact information after that, and he was like, whenever I'm in Mumbai, I prefer a rickshaw, and this guy was stopping at every intersection signal wherever possible, and he was giving money to handicapped people. He would only stop if there is a handicapped person. And he said, I know they could be part of a traffic racket or whatever it is, but somewhere I can't stop my heart because I have decided that's my mission, that I will try to do whatever I can do to help somebody who is handicapped and help them. And his method was a very unique method he mentioned, that I somehow figured out that this is a real real need, and we didn't have enough time to understand that. But I was like, that's inspiring. He had his vision. It was a very micro level philanthropic vision. He was not trying to do any relief work. He was trying to simply see that, hey, can I try and figure out these things? And he was putting in money together and sending to the Jaipur leg and bunch of areas. It's a simple rickshaw guy, right? He's not making much money. And then I meet somebody who is a Bollywood person who is singing for or composing and doing a lot of work for cancer research. We never talked about it. Like, this change maker needs to be, they need to be recognized. And this is when we started recognizing people, and we call them as the Giving Economy Changemakers. The award that we started, we call it as Giving Economy Changemaker Awards. And these awards are, everyone is so wonderful. Everyone is so wonderful, but we still were like, how do we create a certain sections, categories in the awards? And we primarily came up with a few different areas and this. The first and most important thing was a category which was like impact that can be amplified, that is amplified just with simple words, right? And an impact that can really transform millions and billions with a simple thought and some action to it, right? A thought and an action combined together can do a lot. So we have GEC Excellence, one of the most prestigious awards that we confer is GEC Excellence, and it is chosen by the juries together, looking at everywhere else, recommendations between the management team and other references that we have. These are not the awards for which there is a nomination as such, but these are chosen awards by the management team and all the advisory set of people and wonderful set of people that we know. And we have some wonderful awardees for that. And then we opened up nominations for the other category of awards. We have young change makers, we have rural change makers, we have leaders in the charity space, we have innovators in certain space. So these are all bunch of different category of awards that we have had. I'm very, very excited to share that we had over 200 nominations from different parts of the world, and we were like, it is so difficult for us to really not choose somebody for the awards, but we had to make a choice, and our jury was wonderful. We really thank our jury. Our jury, can we have the jury slide up, guys? Okay, maybe technically, but I'll mention their names. We had Asha Jadeja. Asha is a philanthropist from Silicon Valley, a very dear friend, and has been doing wonderful philanthropic work. She runs Motwani Jadeja Foundation, a lot of wonderful initiatives. We have Deepak with us. You all know him now, and he has been doing wonderful work. We have TVG Krishnamurthy. TVG has been a very serial, he has been a senior exec in organizations like Cadbury's and has done wonderful social work. His primary goal was to help several entrepreneurs. He's on board of 70 plus startups, helping them, advisory board of 70 plus startups, helping them. And the claim to fame is, we all know Ola, how Bhavish got his initial support help from TVG. And it's like the real core support, and TVG has had many others like that. We really thank you Asha, thank you Deepak. And then I have another very dear friend of mine who has been, she's a tech expert, spent several years in bikes, and now a leader on. But then there is other side, she's part of several charitable and philanthropic initiatives without making too much of a noise. And Pragna Varadarajan, Thank you so much. And of course, I have to thank a very, very dear friend of mine, Dr. Sunduru. Yeah. So, thank you, Rishabh. So, Dr. Srinivas Chunduru. Srini is a very dear friend of mine. I'm very excited to say that Srini is also part of Crowdera's executive team right now, and we are trying to do some wonderful things together. Divya Singhal. Now, this is a very interesting conversation that I had with Divya just a couple of days ago when we were talking about the nominations that we have had. And I realized there is somebody talking about sustainability, trying to infuse sustainability discussions, SDG talks into regular curriculums, into management studies. And I think Divya comes from that background, so she had a very deep expertise in understanding SDGs. She represents GIMS, Goa Institute of Management Sciences, and several UN initiatives. And in fact, she was, I think, UN person of the month or something like that last month, October, and doing some wonderful work. Okay, I ideally should not be in the jury, but then because I was coordinating a lot, so I had to be part of the jury as well. So thank you to myself as well. I think you should never, excuse yourself. You should also thank yourself for that. So thank you so much on that. So with this, I think what I'm going to do is, hand over to Nitin to please announce our awards of wonderful GEC Excellence Awards. And you can move me to the side, Nitin. Your Rishabh, the deck can come up. Guys, I'm so glad to see. I really want to thank Airmeet, how wonderfully they have put together this platform. We really are getting this experience of having a backstage. We are coming on the stage, going off the stage in the virtual world. I mean, in today's world, it's like it's a great gift. So, a very heartfelt thanks to founders of Airmeet, Lalit and team. Great job, guys. I mean, we really are getting the experience of running a convention here. I believe we have some technical issues. Rishabh, are we all good? Nitin, Rishabh? All right. Meanwhile, let me start talking about some young change makers. Nitin, we can't see you. Rishabh, you can wait for Nitin to come back. Meanwhile, I won't say entertain the audience, but I'll share some inspiring stories. I'll share some inspiring stories till time Nitin is back. So, a very, very interesting thing, the kind of nominations that we... Nitin, you have been missed, probably. You missed the queue. So, we just finished talking about the awards. Can you start, the GC Excellence Awards? Get the slides up, Rishabh, and Nitin can invite our first awardee. GC Excellence Award, one of the best excellence awards. So, Nitin, over to you. Talk about the GC Excellence Award and invite our first awardee. Rishabh?
Yes, let Rishabh come on board, and here we are. Before we move ahead, here we have someone who is an Indian sociologist and an Indian entrepreneur. And here we present the first award of the day, in fact of the evening, to Miss Dr. Bindeshwar Pathak, who's one of the... Come on, round of applause. Yeah, everyone, come on. Yeah. A big round of applause. Reactions showering in. Thank you so much for those reactions.
Can we have Dr. Pathak on stage, please? And Rishabh, you can please show the award on the screen.
Oh, oh, there's a confliction there. How I like it. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
So, Dr. Bindeshwar.
I have to speak? Yeah.
Yeah, if you could share a few words in regards to.
Okay. I am grateful and thankful to this award. And I have good words for the jury, those who have selected me for this award. And Honorable Devan Dwivedi ji, I know him personally. In age, he's less than me, but in knowledge and in everything, he is greater than me. And this Chet already have heard him speaking, and the time is short, so I just like to tell you that God has helped you to help someone, and that is the best thing one can do. My contribution.
I think we lost him, but thank you so much, Dr. Vindeshwar, for joining in and taking out your precious time. A big round of applause, everyone.
And Dr. Padma Bhushan Dr. Vindeshwar Pathak has been inspiring generations. And Deepak ji, if you would like to say a few words. Hey, Acha. Dr. Saab is,
Just,
yeah, you're back. Okay.
I think we miss, it's network coming into play, guys. This is how it might happen. But oh yes, welcome to the virtual world. Well, welcome to the virtual world where you can see all our rooms and judge us also. Judge us. With this, let's move to the next category. What's it, Chet and Deepak sir? Should we do that? Thumbs up.
Please go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So our next award is for someone who's the founder, obviously, of hashtag We the Planet X Fellows and is an award-winning impact entrepreneur and disruptive innovator. With a thunderous round of applause, come on, show some reactions for someone who has set the momentum of the evening and has been an amplified impact change maker, Mr. Kunal Sood.
Can we have to call on the stage?
I know his internet connection is awesome. That I'm 100% sure, guys.
Yeah, thank God for the internet.
Virtual hugs.
Virtual.
Thank you so much, everyone. A big round of applause, everyone. It is an honor for GC community to really, to have Kunal come and accept this award. We are so excited to learn, not just today, and this is a continuous journey. Welcome to GC family, Kunal, and thank you so much for accepting this award. Over to you, Kunal.
Thank you. That's kind of like a Wakanda and a hug at the same time.
Yes, Wakanda.
Wakanda have so it's like this, dual thanks. So I'll tell you why this award means the world to me. Chet, it's because it comes from you and it's directly related to you telling me that my work impacted your work and your life's path to make the impossible possible and set you in a direction towards this, the SDGs and making the SDGs a reality. And more than anything else, I think what this award is a symbol of gratitude and a blessing to me for all of those people out there that used to be victims or still are victims, that it's never too late to embrace your inner hero's journey. so that you can make a massive dent in this world and bend reality to make it, do anything and change everything, which is the most important thing in life. So thank you. I'm so deeply honored for the honor of receiving this award, but more than anything else, this award belongs to those people in India that I served in the slums of Bombay. This award belongs to all the leaders that have inspired my life. I've not made it myself. I always say that even I cried at the General Assembly Hall, if you remember that moment, at the end of the day, saying that I didn't do this summit and I don't do this work. I rely on the shoulder of giants and angels in my life. So really speaking, this is really more a testament to all those that have been extraordinary in helping my life's journey and work. So I'm deeply honored and thank you for having me and thank you for this honor.
Thank you so much, Kunal. Thank you so much for being there.
Wonderful, wonderful. The applauses are showering. Thank you, Kunal.
It's so cool, in the air meet to just see the reaction showering, and it just gives that much of confidence. Okay, we are not virtually also we are getting that energy. So keep showering those claps. Yes, it feels very good. With this, let's move to the next set of winners, or in fact, how do I put it? People who have brought that change in the society. Yeah, somebody who is now we are going to talk about, and somebody who has brought that change is a film producer and humanitarian. Well, with a thunderous round of applause, a big round of applause. Yes, let's welcome Miss Chitra Subramaniam. I think we have Miss Chitra out here too. Yeah, can we have Miss Chitra on stage? Chet, believe me, she has been also one of the most interactive attendee present out here. And a big round of applause for that, especially virtually to be interactive.
Okay, can we beam Chitra up, Rishabh? Sorry guys, some challenges of virtual world.
Oh yes.
Can we have... Here we have Chitra.
Hi.
Hi, Chitra.
Hi. Hi. I'm so sorry. I was trying to navigate the technology. Though AirMeet is wonderful because I went through a meditation conference, and I must say AirMeet was amazing. It's just me trying to get navigated. So I was very delighted that the session was on AirMeet.
Wow. So there's one question which I have for you, Chitra ma'am, and that question is: what one change would you like to see within us, the millennials, so that we end up taking much more action towards what our purpose of this evening is? One change that you want within, say, the youngsters. Like with your glasses, I feel even you are young, very, very young. Trust me. These glasses are super cool. But coming back to the question, how to take action as in this, young blood.
I can only share, I can only share what I feel, and what I do is that I just take action. We can think and we can overthink and we can, look at the world and say, should I do this? Should I do that? I think the only thing to do is take action. And if your conscience is the intent is pure, then everything starts happening. Great things start happening.
How to stop the mind from,
That's the interesting one. Meditation.
That's a good question, right? Yeah. Oh, lots of meditation.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Where did you get those glasses from? Sorry.
These are amazing.
Sorry.
These are from Lenskart. In peak lockdown, they didn't have too many, but they had this one, and they sent it, and I said, "Oh my God, I lucked out."
Okay, it looks fab. Trust me, it looks fab.
Thank you.
And thank you so much. Yes,
I really want to tell Chitra that what she means to me. I mean, Chitra and I have been talking, and every time we meet, whether it was some coffee shop in San Francisco Bay Area or on the Yari Road, wherever we talk. She's an inspiration every time when I talk to her. There is something new that I learn every time. And when I get to hear, every time we talk, there is amazing impact initiatives that she is doing. And she and I both agree that how much abundance starts with giving, this statement aligns with us. So with all that inspiration, when I was talking about Chitra to the jury that, hey, here is a pick for the GC Excellence Award, one of the top tier awards that we have. And they were like, oh my God. I mean, to be honest, we are nowhere close to judging Chitra here, right? She's an inspiration to all of us, and it was an unanimous pick saying that amazing. We would all, by the way, a lot of them would like to connect with you as well, Chitra. So we are so excited to be honoring you with the GC award, and thank you so much for accepting this award. Can we have the award on the screen, team? I hope there is no technical glitch here. We had it and it was gone.
No, that's okay.
I guess
even the award is coming. Even technical glitch in this virtual world is a different. Yeah.
Don't worry about it. It's not a glitch at all. It's a.
But moving ahead from the glitch, there are a lot of books in your background. One book suggestion, please, for taking action and not living in the mind.
I will show you one. Yeah. So, yeah.
Which book you are talking about? Which book can we, scroll through to, take action, not live in the head. Like I have been quarantined from last 2 days because of COVID. Yeah. And here is the award. And we are really, really happy, Ms. Chitra Subramaniam, as you are one of the most amplified impact change maker. Thank you for being that change maker in the society.
Thank you.
Chet, your audio is turned off. A big round of applause, everyone. Yeah, reaction.
Thank you so much, Chitra. Wonderful.
Thank you so much, Ms. Chitra.
Thank you. I am so humbled. When Chet told me, I said, I don't think I deserve this award at all. I don't know, because the people have done so much. Why are you giving me this award?
This award deserves you.
So, my God.
It's how do I put it? You are
Chitra. Thank you so much. And
I wrote a speech also, 1 minute speech.
Please go ahead.
Please.
I prepared for it because I thought I must talk about what I feel. And if I may, Chet,
please.
First of all, Chet, thank you, and to all to the jury, to the wonderful people, to the amazing people who are attending this. I am truly, truly humbled to be in your space, in your presence. Thank you so much, all of you. I just want to share that as a young child at the age of 8 in Lucknow, I showed my palm to a palmist and I asked him if I would ever start an orphanage. And he said, "Beta, ये तो हाथ की लकीरें में थोड़ी लिखा जाता है कि तुम orphanage शुरू करोगे." And you know what? He was right, because years later, it's only when many incredible hands joined mine, so many of them, that लकीरें बनते गई और कारनामे होते गए.
Wow.
I truly believe that, we all live in a very interconnected world that can be nurtured only through giving. And that this interconnectedness, which is fostered and nurtured through giving, is the only thing that leads to long-lasting abundance. Yeah. I just want to take a little more time, 30 seconds, to thank some people without whom, my life would not be what it is. And the first one is Ujjwal Thakkar, my mentor, Venkat Krishnan, without whom I would be sitting at home dusting and redusting and dusting the already dusted furniture. Thank you to Venkat. Vandana Das, Nidhi, Bilal, Lara, Anil, Taranjeet, Surya, Monica, Mayuri, Jillian, Nia, Devashish. I just want to say I am because you are my Ubuntu, as are everybody else. A big gratitude, Chet, to you. Thank you so much. To the wonderful jury. to GEC, giving Economy Changemakers. You guys are amazing and doing a great, great job. But this award belongs to all the nominees and to the millions of luminous people who constantly foster, nurture, and contribute to humanity and to all beings on this planet.
Thank you so much, Chitra. Wonderful, and I'm so glad to hear that.
Thank you.
I've always been inspired by Venkat, and what a lovely thing that I had an opportunity to meet.
Yeah, you're part of living my promise.
Yeah,
you are a living my promise.
Talk about living my promise, Chitra, if you would like. But Chitra's mentor and all of our mentor, like Venkat, is an amazing person. The concept that he started of living my promise, and I'm proudly one of the promisers, where people pledge 50% of whatever they want to, whatever they have, towards a charity, towards this thing. And I think it is a very proud moment when we say, I am living my promise, will you join me? That's what Venkat's phrase says, right? So we are very, very inspired by Venkat. And Venkat has really helped shape up a lot of people. So I think we'll have another session talking about it. But thank you so much, Chitra.
Yes. Thank you for having me. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
So what we'll do, Nitin, I guess because of technical glitches, we had Bindeshwarji, Padma Shri Bindeshwarji could not, complete his speech. So if we can beam up Dr. Bindeshwarji. And
yes, definitely.
Yeah, can we just beam Dr. Bindeshwarji on the screen?
Yes.
Can you go to the next screen? And can you pull up Dr. Bindeshwarji on the main screen?
Yes, he is there.
Actually, I have to be brief, so I would like to be as short as possible.
Apologies.
Yes, sir.
Technical glitch, Dr.
Yes,
please.
So when I was talking to you earlier, that in 1968, when I came on the scene, I joined the society, Bihar Gandhi Centenary Celebration Committee. And that committee gave me 3 problems. One, open defecation. Second, cleaning of night soil by the people called untouchables before independence to earn their livelihood, and also to remove the untouchability and social discrimination. So this is very important. And for that, because I was listening earlier speakers also mentioned about the technology. Now, without technology, it was not possible in open defecation or manual cleaning by Gandhi invited people in 1934 in Bhubaneswar to have food with untouchables. Upper caste people came, but they refused to eat. So Gandhi had written there that Indians can be killed by the bullets of the British, but they are unable to eat with untouchables. So this problem of the country, open defecation and untouchability, cleaning of night soil by the people, could not have been solved only by the technology first, and then motivation, education, everything. Now you can just see, in 6.5 years after the intervention of the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, the entire country now has toilets in every home. It was not possible by the sewerage system. The system was introduced in Britain in 1857, New York 1860, and this country, Kolkata, had a privileged sewage system in 1870. So from 1870 to till now, only 1,000 towns are sewer waste, and that too partially. And Delhi treats only 69%. and rest is thrown in Yamuna. So by that technology, it was not possible to provide toilets in each and every house and to end the practice of manual cleaning of night soil and the untouchability. So the technology which I will take 5 minutes more, don't worry. So the technology I invented, this is the technology. There are 2 pits, one used at a time, other is kept standby, and the first one after 2 years it becomes manual fertilizer, and alternately you can use that. Just this is fertilizer. I will spell it for you.
Wow.
This is human scatter in my hand. So there is no technology in the world as simple as this one. And what is the technology? The technology is the bacteria present in the soil converts human scatter into manure. They're like this, and this can be used as a manure in the field, and it contains nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. It requires only 1.5 liter to flush. There is no gas pipe. Just see, gases are absorbed in the soil. Hence, it helps to reduce the global warming and hence the climate change. In the cold climate, it functions very well. Time is short, so I'm not going to detail. In Srinagar, in 84, temperature went down to minus 14 degrees Celsius. It worked very well. So this is all technology. Now, had not this technology been invented by me, India would not have had this opportunity or this advantage, which right now has, that every house has a toilet. So this is the most important, and because of this, which Gandhi said, now just see the change. You say change maker. Just see.
Wow.
The Prime Minister of India, this year, the first picture in 2003, when she was carrying night soil to earn the livelihood.
Wow.
And how much was she earning? 300 rupees. How much now she is earning? About 15 to 20 rupees. And now, see, earlier they had to go from the back door in the house. Now they go to house, have tea, and with them they sell popcorn, pickles, so things. You see, now this year, 3 I met her. Now this year she is going to get Padma Shri by the government of India. Already, see the change, and nobody will touch them. In 2003, nobody will touch them, the untouchables. And now she has got the Padma Shri. So this, because it will take time, next time when we have big session for the, we can come to us. Just I please within 5 minutes maximum.
For sure, sir. We will be keeping
next time you can give, because the studio is no time. Now just see water. This is water from public toilet. The water pure compared to rivers. So this toilet you can use water for the washing and everything, and it has fertilizer, nitrogen, potassium. So now I leave it because I have many technologies, and the one thing before I conclude, I have done work in the water sector also. The arsenic area, where the people used to get arsenic because of the drinking water. Now in West Bengal we have developed technology, and the water is sold 50 paise per liter. And this is full, so that is economical and cheaper. So likewise, I have developed many technologies, I invented them, and what is important, I have not, this is a mistake, not that I say I endorse my views, but I did not take a single farthing as a charity from anywhere. I got opportunity to get money from different countries, but I did not take. So therefore, the work was confined to the amount which we earned ourselves. And because of that, it could have gone last. So now I will leave it. Next time, when we get time, I will come again to this. I'm thankful and grateful to the total jury members, you and others, that you have given me opportunity, given me the award. Award is very important for anybody. Just like you pass an examination and then you feel happy. You know how I passed the examination. So that is most important because just here I conclude with this photograph.
Wow.
You must read
This
it.
is
J.R.D. Tata.
Just saw that. Yeah. Wow.
J.R. Tata, he financed this project, Metro Cinema Bombay.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And he came twice to see the building construction, and he inaugurated. Just see the picture. I mean, the Bakul Patel was Sharif at the time in Bombay.
Amazing.
And he said that this is the most important thing history has done it. So this is only because of him you can now understand the whole philosophy and everything. I think the week before I was delivering lecture to Tata. They were amazed to see his photograph. So anyway, I conclude. I don't want to word. I thank you to all of you. I don't name personally, but I think you have given me opportunity. And next time when you just give me at least 1 hour time to speak, because I have done, my life is very not very, but I have so many problems. What I feel, let us say. So I conclude by these two quotations. One by John F. Kennedy. He said, "Not ask what the country has done for you. You ask what you have done for the country." So this was very important. And secondly, there is one Japanese, Dr. Daisuke
Ikeda. Oh, wow.
One of the most respected Buddhist spiritual leaders.
Yes.
What he said, this is on a quotation, "A great inner revolution in just a single individual will help achieve a change in the destiny of a nation and further will cause a change in the destiny of humankind." And this quotation and John F. Kennedy quotation, both are not only done many quotations, but this are very apt, very apt. And I was born in a rich family, but my father lost the wealth, and we were in trouble. So I had no money also, but God has helped me again. So first sentence I started telling you that God has helped you to help someone. So I thank this the organization, this Nance Foundation, and also the Crowdera Foundation, Chith, Jain, and others, that this is the thing. Now some capitalists and industrialists of the world, now they are coming forward. Earlier, they had no idea to help others, only to earn money they had. But now, there are some who can be named, so they are coming forward. So this idea has gone into the rich people. This is very, very good for the country. And because those who have money, so who said? Only one Swami, that he was for Pondicherry, cannot forget it. The Pondicherry Swami.
Aurobindo.
Aurobindo Swami, sorry. Thank you. So Aurobindo Swami said, those who will earn money will spend money on the good cause. And those who will earn money and not good people, then what they will do? Destroy the society. And what is happening now? Money is going to the persons who have no real. So that is important, that you should have money. Without
it's a balance of both.
Nothing can be done. So that is important. I conclude that God has helped you.
Wonderful.
Come on.
Wonderful.
And your yes, yes, is doing very good. And village development, because I am expert on DG, sustainable development, and therefore this is very important. The 6.5 lakh villages about I will try to help as far as possible. And again,
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Saab. It is such a
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Because the
Thank you so much. It's a blessing.
Just a thank you will not serve, so I have to really thank you to all of you. Dr. Saab, with your blessings, I think we will try to continue the journey and wonderful. And now, please, one small request, please do see other change makers who are going to get the awards now. Dr. Saab, so please bless them from the distance if possible, if it is feasible for you. Bless the other awardees as well.
Virtual blessings.
Virtual
blessings. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you so much. With this, so I am getting personal DMs. Yes, sorry.
I said over to you for the next round.
You said something.
Here.
Yes.
And then I think just one small thing, guys. Yes, of course, we are in a virtual world. Awards are being showed right now here. But these awards will be shipped to your locations within a week's time. If you are in India, if you're overseas, it will take probably a couple days to get there. So for now, consider these virtual awards as the real awards, and let's begin the journey. Nitin,
yes.
And one more. One more request to the host at the backstage, that when you're playing the videos, maybe we can let the video play, Nitin, and then you can go back and please come back to the recommendation slide or whatever we have on the slide. So yeah, just coordinate. All right, over to you, Nitin.
So all the attendees present out here, the first 3 awards, they're in the amplified impact category, and now we are going to move towards the prominent impact category, where the first award is going GEC Charity Leadership, and the award goes to someone who is an MD for Habitat India, and the award goes to, let's have a look at our screens. It's Rajan Samuel, Managing Director, Habitat for Humanity India. Come on, everyone, a big round of applause. Talia nahi rukni chahiye.
For Dr. Mr. Rajan Samuel, can we get Mr. Rajan on stage? Here he is, and can we get to the award
slide? Yeah.
Yes. This Habitat for Humanity has been doing such a wonderful work for years together. It's a 70-year-old organization. It is present in 70 plus countries. It started apparently in South Africa, and it is present in several countries. And what a wonderful network of volunteers and makers they have. So, Mr. Rajan, it is an honor for us to have you here and accept this award. Over to you, sir, to hear a few words from you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Chet, and thank you, Nitin. Are you able to see me? I can see the.
We are able to only see RS. Yeah, maybe you can just turn on your camera. There's a camera option. Maybe.
Yes, I think it's on, but yeah. Let me try again. Yeah, there we go.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm certainly honored and humbled to receive this award on behalf of Habitat for Humanity India. Chet, like you rightly said, Habitat started in the US, but in Asia Pacific, it started in Khammam in Andhra Pradesh. Very humble beginning. We started impacting 60 individuals, and today, I'm happy to say, after 37 years, we have impacted 35 million Indians through various shelter interventions. I think more needs to be done. I just want to leave two thoughts with you all. Like what Dr. Pathak was saying, according to the World Bank, for every $1 invested in water sanitation, the ripple effect is $17. But if you link shelter, I think it will be multifold. Construction industry is the second largest industry in India. And at the bottom of the pyramid, we are really looking at jump-starting the economy. And so the more investment that goes into construction, especially at the bottom of the pyramid, it creates jobs, it creates income. And I think we are talking about shelter as a vaccine, which will not only insulate the poor from COVID-19, but also against other disaster. So how do you put housing as a center? But I think we need to look at the whole ecosystem: water, sanitation, waste management, green energy. I think if we can push this and we can make this an agenda, I think we can really kickstart at the bottom of the pyramid, and we can bounce back very soon post the COVID, scenario. So again, Chet, thank you very much. It's a real honor and privilege for me to be part of this award ceremony and for receiving this award. And it only tells us that more needs to be done, and we need each and every Indian to join hands with us so that we can rebuild our economy, with one family at a time. Thank you so much.
True. Thank you so much, Rajan sir, for your time. A big round of applause, everyone. Slow claps, fast claps. Thank you so much, Rajan sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rajan. It is an honor.
Thank you,
It is an honor. And we will have opportunity to meet and talk soon. Thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely. We want to collaborate and make sure that we will impact more people. So collaboration is the order of the day.
Absolutely.
True.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening.
With this, let's move to the second award in the category of prominent impact. And guys, for that, we have the CEO of PETA India. In fact, I'm telling about overall India. But before we move to that, I would request all the attendees also. Okay, Rajan sir said something, which one family at a time. You have to write English of "Boond boond se ghara bharta hai." Write English of "Boond boond se ghara bharta hai" till the time we move to the next award. Write the English, huh? Okay, let's move to the slide now. And let's welcome with the thunderous round of applause, People for Ethical Treatment of Animals, India, PETA. The CEO of PETA, in fact, Dr. Manilal Valiate. Come on, everyone. A big round of applause for him. Somebody who has created a stir, an impact, his vision. And here we have him alongside with us.
Such an exciting moment to have Manilal here. We are all big fans. Everyone who is vegetarian or a vegan are all big fans of PETA. We all know the wonderful work PETA. But having said that, we also have to believe it's not just the fancy cats and everything that we see. The vision that goes beyond this thing, the leadership that is required to, make this dream that started somewhere else a reality in our country is an amazing feat. So let's hear from Manilal, and it's an honor to have you here, Dr. Manilal. We are so honored. Over to you. I don't think we are able to hear you. There is some issue.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay,
yes.
Awesome. Lovely. Over to you.
Okay.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, please.
Thank you very much, Chair. Thank you very much. I'm extremely thankful to GSC Summit and the jury for choosing us. I'm saying choosing us because I represent a lot of people who work really hard to achieve this, and on behalf of all of them, my colleagues and everyone who is there out in the field working for animals and trying to make a difference, I'm happy to receive this award. And also I'm extremely thankful to everyone in the forum who have been very interestingly listening to all the speakers and contributing, and I'm thankful to all of you. I just want to take 1 minute to tell you something about PETA. As you know, as an animal rights organization, our core values are animals are not for us to experiment on or eat or wear or use for entertainment or abuse in any way. So particularly for PETA, the award being given to this extremely important project in Delhi, we call it Delhi Mechanization Project. A brief history about this project is I started my career as a veterinarian in Delhi. So my work was to work with these Tongawalas, the bullock cart owners and everyone, and offer free treatment. So, and after 20 years, after spending some time with this community and helping these animals, after 20 years when I came back, I saw the same thing. The animals with animals who are skin and bone, covered with sores, because of the ill-fitted saddle, heavily loaded, desperate. Lameness, wounds, and the people were also the same. Even trying, very difficult to find the ends meet. So, that's the very reason we launched this project, and the beautiful part of this project is the project not only helps animals, relieve their suffering, it also helps the people who, use them. What we saw is for the last 2 years, we nearly have given e-rickshaw, an electronic rickshaw to more than 40 people. And their life have changed, and all those animals whom we rescued after leaving the rickshaw, they are now in a sanctuary, living a beautiful life. A life without any burden. Not being beaten up, not being struggling to walk through the busy streets of Delhi. Inhaling all this polluted air. So a beautiful life have been given to animals, and if you look at the people who have been, for generations using these bullock carts and dongas, the life have tremendously changed for them. The way they talk, earlier they used to have a dhoti and a banyan, and they feel like now their social, status have changed. They wear better, clean clothes. They have, instead of getting 200 rupees per day from these bullock carts, they earn better now, 600, 700 rupees. Because of which they can educate their children, they can provide food for the family. And it's a beautiful project which changed the life of the animals, it changed the life of the people. And I would say that it might change the life of the Delhiites as well, because what we are realizing as on today is the pandemic, and we know that the virus, has some connection, with the animals. It has gone through some changes in animals, and that's the reason why it is so severe and so dangerous. So something which all of us should understand, that in a city like Delhi or city like Bombay, there are the population crisis, the traffic, the vehicles. It's a deadly mixture. Animals struggling with these, human struggle. So what is important is the project is also helping the general public. The greenhouse gas emission from these animals will be tremendously taken care of. And also look at the zoonotic diseases, the disease that spread from animals. Glanders is a very common disease in equine horses. So most of us don't even know that can actually kill a person, a human being. Similarly, the disease that spread from cattle, the brucellosis, the tuberculosis. So I think in so many wonderful ways, this project have helped the animals, and it have helped the people, and we are expecting that with more support we will be able to reach out. There are more than 150 dongas remaining now who need help, and there are more than 250 bullock cart owners who need our help. So I think that's the project, that's the objective, and I'm sure with the support of everyone we will be able to achieve it. Thank you very much for this award.
Thank you so much, Mr. Manilal, for having such a great vision, and thank you for sharing it with us and inspiring us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and I think we should definitely take an opportunity to someday meet just like this and talk more about your vision and see how the Giving Economy Changemakers community can help this vision become a larger reality. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
I think, Chet, we should, organize a full day event, ताकि we can listen to perspectives and visions and ideas of every person present out here, because all of them are visionaries. With this,
the reason we have people here listening, wanting to wait to hear everyone, is because this is not a typical music award or a Bollywood award or something. This is award of our lives, the life on this planet. This is where people see that every person here is impacting some life on the planet and the planet that we live in, right? Like Kunal said, we the planet, we have to think like that. And I really want to thank the audience being here. Thank you so much, everyone. Over to you, Nitin. Let's have.
Yeah, and since we have the audience present out here, also mention which is the fastest internet connection. I'm at a quarantine center where the internet is like hazy and it's showing red marks to me every single time, but it's okay. Let's move to the GEC philanthropy category, in which the winner we are having is the founder. In fact, she's the founder of Bharatiya Jain Sangatana, which has been working for water and joined hands with Amir Khan for Pani Foundation. With a thunderous round of applause, I will not mention the name, guys. First, let's see the slide and let the name be a suspense for you all. And the name is Mr. Shantilal Murtha. Come on, everyone, a big round of applause. Somebody who's a founder of Bharatiya Sangatana. And if we can have Mr. Shantilal on the screen. I'm used to say on stage, on stage.
You should use the word stage, because I think now this is a new reality and we have to accept this reality. This is the stage. This is the stage set up for us. So can we have Shantilal ji on stage, please? Rishabh? Guys, I think we all understand, we bear with the internet, so some other issues which are happening. So, some technical glitch. So, how about a round of applause for Mr. Shantilal Murtha for the wonderful
reactions, guys.
Development goals. And if we are able to beam him up in some time on the stage, then probably we'll come back and hear him out as well. Let's go to the next award.
The next award is going to someone who is a founder, the founder of Saturday Club Global Trust, who was in fact, being a founder of Saturday Club Global Trust, also has been working for Marathi entrepreneur and their development as a whole, and bringing a change within that circle. Let's hear it in regards to the next category. And GEC Philanthropy Award goes to late Madhav Rao Bide.
I would love to talk a few words about, late Madhav Rao Bide ji. There was a time when people were talking about why Marathis are only thinking about being employees, and this was a voice. They were like, hey, it is not being a Marathi or a non-Marathi. If you Marathi people want to become an entrepreneur, let's kind of build that thing. He was the one who was trying to bring people together, bring that entrepreneurship in Maharashtra. And today, Saturday Club is organization of 5,000 plus entrepreneurs. I think more, and entrepreneurs, and there is no disparity there. There is no differentiation between whether you are a small SME or you are a 50,000 crore empire, right? Everyone is on the simple stage, everyone on a single stage. And that vision was by late Madhav Rao Bide ji. And can we have somebody from Saturday Global Trust or family of Bide ji on the stage, please? Okay, if you don't know, maybe we can beam up Neil from Saturday Club if we don't have anyone from.
Do we have
anyone from Global Trust? All right, we have here. So, Neil, we would like you to share a few words about Saturday Club, and I can take this opportunity to speak in Marathi because late Madhav Rao Bide ji stood for the language and Marathi entrepreneurs. If you want to say a few words on behalf of Saturday Global Trust in Marathi, we would love to hear.
Thank you, Chet, and thank you, Nitin. I'm on behalf of Saturday Club Global Trust. I am representing Saturday Club Untitled Chapter. What Chet has requested to talk in Marathi, so I'll say a few words. Saturday Club Global Trust हा फक्त मराठी एंटरप्रेनर्स करता प्लॅटफॉर्म तयार केलेला आहे, ज्यात माधवराव भिडेंनी जे विजन होतं की मराठी माणसं बिझनेस करू शकत नाही, तर त्यांना हा प्लॅटफॉर्म ओपनली केलेला आहे सो दॅट मराठी पीपल कॅन डू बिझनेस. सो दिस इज द फ्यू वर्ड्स विच आय वुड लाईक टू से. Thank you very much. I'll convey this message to Saturday Club trustee, and I'll forward this award to them. Thank you very much, Chair. Thanks, Nitin.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you so much for your time, Sapil. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
With this, let's move to the award, which is in regards to kindness. How important is kindness for each and everyone present out here? Just on the chat, section, share a yes, no, maybe. How important is kindness for you in life? And till the time you are typing, let me tell about the person who is going to win the award. Well, that person is the founder of Compassion, and her name is Miss Sarah Skyra. Can we have the slides? The winner of GEC in regards to the kindness category. A big round of applause for Miss Sarah. She's joining all the way from the US, I feel. Yes, Chit. Yeah, correct.
Yes,
Good morning.
that's a big time. Hi, Sarah. How are you? Long time.
Hi, nice to see you. It's morning here. I know it's evening there.
Yeah. Can we have you on the screen if it's possible? If the video is okay.
I don't know how to do.
Yeah,
Let me see.
Oh my God! What's your tracks? Long time.
Oh, lovely to see you.
So lovely to see you. It's been a while, and she has been such an inspiration. In fact, I still remember when she gave me the band first time. Sarah used to run that band, Compassionate Band, where darkness is on one side and brightness is on another side. You do one act of kindness and turn it around.
Oh wow!
And that inspired my previous company when I was doing education. I was like, one act of education you do and you turn it around from dark to green or orange, some brightness. And she was an amazing inspiration for me, and she still is an inspiration to thousands and hundreds of thousands of people around the world. Over to you, sir. And can we have the award also on the screen? Thank you so much for being here. Would love to hear from you, sir.
Yes, what would you like to hear?
So I have a question, sir.
Yes, thank you.
Tomorrow to hear you out in a fantastic way. But what do you think about what are the two words that you want to say to other change makers who are here, other bodies who are here?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you very much for this award. It is an honor, and it's so neat to be connected globally through technology. I appreciate that so much. And my organization, Compassionate, we made compassion a verb, right? Compassionate. And we think compassion is an action that we each can do every day. And we also think that every single person on the planet deserves compassion. So we're really working on not only inspiring individuals to be compassionate, but how do we create systems that are compassionate, but the products of those systems are compassionate beings. So we're really looking at how do we scale compassion in a way so that we have compassionate societies and institutions.
Wonderful. So thank you so much for accepting this award, Sarah. It is an honor for us to kind of contribute this award to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
We have a session with Sarah tomorrow, and please be there to attend her session about kindness and what is the power of kindness to make an impact, amplify the impact.
Go. And with this, let's move to the next award category, which is GEC, Young Change Makers. Well, this is about the next award. It is going to India's first single father, a social change maker. And with a thunderous round of applause with reactions, let's welcome Mr. Aditya Tiwari. Wow, what a beautiful picture. And we have Mr. Aditya on stage.
Welcome to GEC. Can you? Yeah, he's right here. Welcome to GEC. So wonderful to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you. So this award is not for me. It's for my son Avni.
who gave me the opportunity to work in the field for disability and orphan in India. And I want to thank you, Kshitij Ingle, who sent me the link and the process and asked me to nominate for this. So thank you for recognize our efforts, and we are trying our best to make a change in the individual life of orphans and disability in India. Thank you.
And
thank you so
the
much.
only promise that we want from everyone here, Aditya, including you, is don't just stop making the impact yourself. Try to see if you can impact more change makers like you, right? There is such a wonderful thing that you have done and you have been doing. How do you kind of bring all of those knowledge and wisdom together and help other change makers? And of course, I think our change makers are going to hear you tomorrow. So we are all excited about it.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Aditya.
Thank you.
I believe tech team, over to you, Nitin.
Yes.
Can we have the next?
So our next award, Chet and all the attendees present out here, is going to in the category of Alliances for Impact GEC, and the award is going to a CXO, in fact the CXO of Fractal.ai, with a thunderous round of applause and a lot of reactions, blue hearts. Let's welcome Mr. Miten Mehta.
Can we beam up Miten and show the slides?
Till the time the slides is coming on, yeah, here it is. And we are going to have Mr. Miten in a few seconds. And till the time the slide is coming on, I would like to thank each and every attendee present out here on this beautiful first day of December, whichever city, country you are in. We're having people from Kenya also, I think.
Oh yeah, of course.
And it's an across the globe platform, GEC Summit 2020. And with this, I think we are... we have someone from Canada also. Hi, Jyoti. Wahan kitna baja hai? What is the time out there, Jyoti? I'm from India. I've never moved out. Yeah, I've traveled abroad, but yeah. Canada, what is the time? I'm very curious to know. And Jyoti says it's 10:30 a.m. Great, Jyoti. Good morning. And thank you for joining in early morning. I think we are not having Mr. Miten out here. Can we have the award?
Miten is having little tech issues. He's probably resetting, I guess. So let's move to the next award and we'll come back to Miten immediately.
Sure. So next award category in GEC Summit, GEC Awards, is Innovation for Impact. And the Innovation for Impact is going to the foundation, in fact the CEO of Foundation for Excellence, who has claimed to fame via LaborNet ex-CEO, and with a thunderous round of applause and slow claps and a lot of reactions, my fellow attendees, Mr. Ram Kolavenu. Let's do fast claps.
Okay, let's do that. Let's do that.
Let's do fast claps.
Fantastic. See, the way our speed is increasing, we can see applauses coming on the screen.
Oh yes,
Very
a lot.
nice. That's like an amazing audience. Can we have Ram on screen?
I think Ram.
So this is some virtual thing that happens, right? Because one backstage is in one part of the world, another backstage is in another part of the world, and we are trying to figure out how it is happening, and we can't see anything, but we can still see everything.
But there is a lot of love and regards for Mr. Ram for bringing that change in the society, as well as being someone who has created that impact via his innovation. Thank you so much. I request all the attendees. Oh, some of you are sharing blue hearts. See, this blue heart concept is very.
Very. I don't know. Why not red heart? But I think I love the blue color.
Yeah, even I love. Maybe red is something which won't work at a corporate platform. That's why they have changed it to blue.
And to say a few words about Ram,
Yes, please.
Ram is talking tomorrow. Ram's session is about using skilling for scaling the impact, and he has done a wonderful job at LaborNet as a CEO of LaborNet just before beginning a new journey at the Foundation for Excellence. And Foundation for Excellence is an amazing initiative, where they are identifying real deserving people who need funds to go for higher education, purely merit based, but a lot of underprivileged people. I mean, they have 20,000 plus alumni of underprivileged people who have either gone abroad from India or in India for the higher education. A lot of doctors, engineers, and around the world they're diasporized. So if when we have Ram, probably we'll hear from him. But let's move the next. Maybe I think what I feel like, Nitin, is if we can take a 5-minute break and give everyone a little breather, and meanwhile we will have our backstage team to ensure that everyone is present or whatever is going on, tech issues are solved, and we reconvene in 5 minutes. So, guys, I think we all deserve a 5-minute break. So,
yes, no, what do they think? Let's hear it out in 10 seconds.
People want to take
people from Canada.
Continue interacting. I think they can leverage this opportunity to do some Q&A. They can ask a question. There is a Q&A session here. If someone wants to raise hands, they can do that as well. So let's take this opportunity and see what people have. And meanwhile, we'll be back in 5.
Sure. And do share if you have some people you'd love to connect to. There's also a networking section, and you can connect to people out here. And we'll be back in next 5 minutes. So here we are, back and more powerful, more impactful. Hi Jyoti, you still there? Jyoti from Canada. She's still there. Yes, you are still there. How's the situation out there? Like, are you guys wearing masks? Yes, no? It must be lockdown, great. And what have you learned? What one thing moved you right now in last 3 hours in our event? That one thing which created a lot of impact in your head. Till the time you are writing, I'll use this plug point. This is called charger ke andar. This is going inside. And this is the plug point. Just give me a second. Me being a typical Marwari, even I'm lending my, how do I put it? Am I able to show it? Like, this is my charger. I gave it to a friend. I wrote on this paper Nitin Jain and my mobile number, so he does not loses it. And even if he loses it, I'll get it via my mobile number. I would love to know if we have someone from Bombay, Calcutta, Delhi, any metropolitans in India, bring impact in others' life, and the only way to be happy. Wow, great. A big round of applause for Jyoti for that. Thank you so much for being so kind enough and bringing that change within you. And we are letting more people come in, letting more people jump in. Let's see someone say who is someone. If you could, maybe share something, one word which created an impact. For example, for me, it was how do I put it? Story. When Kunal Sood said, if story is that word for me which impacted, that one word which impacted you the most. Anyone out here? Share one word, just one word. Add mat karna usme. And don't send it on private message. Send it on this here. And I think we have people out here who are waiting to listen to the next category of awards, and we will be announcing we have like I think 8 to 10 more awards, which will be, which in fact the people who have brought that change would be getting those awards. And let's see if we inspired anyone amongst you all to bring that change. And maybe 2 years down the line, you will be one of the winners at GEC awards. What say, Chet? Is there any chance of me bringing that change? Having COVID symptoms, sitting at home.
So you can really inspire people. You're feeling low this morning. We had a chat, and you said you're feeling already inspired, and then you heard Kunal, and your inspiration was skyrocketing. So it's not the situation; it's about acceptance of reality, and there is only upward and onward journey from there, right? So, and you have a much more brighter opportunity to make an impact because you have an opportunity to influence so many people. You are doing so many events. I met you at TEDx, and you're inspiring. I mean, it's not just entertainment, but within that entertainment, when you talk about your own journey, and when I met you in Mumbai at Powai Starbucks. Powai Starbucks. My memory is very good when I meet people and whoever really want to remember. All right. So it is an opportunity when you meet so many people. So you have to be very responsible and think if you can really take this message. If there is any learning you can take from today's event, and if you can keep it with yourself, and wherever you go, whatever you do, if you can really spread this message of giving economy, that's the greatest impact. Probably some years down the line, I will be honoring you here on the stage, saying that what a wonderful work you have done, Nitin. And you're already doing that. Thank you. Anyway, let's get started.
Yes, let's get started. Rishabh, you are there. You are available. You're not visible, but you are one of the integral parts. So I hope your internet connection doesn't go off like I went away. And I would really apologize to all the attendees present out here. Something happened an hour ago with my internet thing, and it went haywire for 2 minutes. And I would also, since the time, our backend team is kind of creating that format for you guys so that the award happens a little quicker, I believe. I would like to share what impact change created in my life. I wrote it in my color notes, so I write things.
Oh, wow.
I write things, and it is TEDx in the month of November. We did, and Chet said, okay, this is what Chet said.
Oh, wow.
He said, so I was kind of anxious, which I am still, and he kind of grabbed me by my shoulder. I was wearing a black blazer back then, and he said, you are young and you have that much of energy. Just chill, relax, and keep going. Like, keep following what you're doing, keep following your dreams. Because, in Bombay, what happens is you don't have any mentors and anyone. And here is someone who guided me in regards to finding people who genuinely would help, rather than finding people who would just try to make their work happen and just fade away, and creating true relations. Genuinely, Chet, thank you for that. Thank you. And it's not just Chet, I think it's within his family.
I never thought that I would have. Of course, indeed. But yeah, I mean, thank you. Can we have the slides?
I will talk about her later on. Yes. And here we are.
All right. Here we are.
And we have Mr. Vitain. Do we have Mr. Vitain right now?
We have Vitain beam up on the stage.
And here we go.
Hi everyone, this is Vitain.
Hi Vitain, can we have you on the screen? You have a video button, right?
Oh, hi. Okay, let me just turn that on. Sorry.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Here we are. Oh, I see you. Long time. I see you.
It's been a long time, shit. For sure.
Wonderful. Guys, a few words about what I know about Vitain is I met him a couple years ago. I have a very, very dear friend of mine. I was talking about, giving economy and energy. We have a common friend who probably connected us years ago. And it was all since that day whenever I have met Nitin or whatever I have been listening about him, He has always been about SDG 17 in my mind. He is a living example of SDG 17, where he does so much of work helping the humanity in different forms. So I would call him as Alliance's godfather. That is my separate title I can give to him. But when we nominated Mithane, and we were talking about the kind of work he had done in the space of building alliances for right from the Googles of the world to young startups of the world, the level of alliances that he brought in to kind of amplify that impact was amazing. So Mithane, lovely to have you here, and thank you so much for being here and accepting this honor. Over to you, Mithane.
Thank you so much, Chet. Thanks, everyone. It's absolutely an honor, and it's very humbling to receive this award, especially from GC. GC is close to my heart because, what actually I share, and I have stolen this line, I would say, very openly here, which you have on your WhatsApp and also on your LinkedIn and other status about abundance starts with giving. And I don't think there can be any better truth than that fact. I have personally experienced that. Obviously, I'm a lot older than most of you or all of you perhaps here. And I won't take much time in terms of sharing my anecdotes, but I can tell you from my journey in a one bedroom in Ghatkopar, which is a suburb in Mumbai, to Silicon Valley, and having done 3 startups, being part of Google, having invested in 30 odd startups, I can tell you one thing: nothing rings closer home bell than the fact that Chet, as he mentions, that abundance starts with giving. I will only close with one more quote, Chet, with your permission, that Buddha has, which is about going out and talking about, how does the universe conspire to go out and support you? He says only there are 2 ways to, be successful in terms of going out and living your life from a giving standpoint, especially ESG. And which is, he says, the 2 obstacles to overcome are always A, make a start, and B, go all the way. I think with this award, I would like to take a pledge to make a start and go all the way when it comes to giving. And I'm very proud to be associated.
Wonderful.
Thank you. And I'm
wonderful words.
Equally are motivated to go out and take that pledge. Thanks again, Chair.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your kind words, Mithane. I mean, the last few words were, this is the message that if we can take, message by Buddha, mentioned by Mithane. One wish is make me start, and second is keep me going. This is amazing.
Wow.
This is amazing. Thank you so much, Mithane.
Thank you.
And guys, we are going to hear Mithane tomorrow about his lovely journey and how the power of alliances can amplify impact multifold, not just 1x, 2x, 3x, it's like 10x, 100x, 1000x, how alliances can do that. So please don't miss out for the wisdom and hacks that Mithane can share with us tomorrow. Thank you, Mithane.
Looking forward to. Thank you, Shad.
Thank you so much. Let's look at who's our next winner.
Yeah, and now this is a suspense for us also because they have reshuffled. So
there is a puzzle going on. Yes,
exciting.
Oh, wow. So now we have DIG of Uttarakhand Police, who's an IPS, who has been an integral part in regards to bringing that change within the system, the integral system of our country, India. With a thunderous round of applause, let's give the Prominent Impact Award to Dr. Nilesh Bharne. Come on, a big round of applause. And here we go. Inspiring Changemaker Award, which has been presented to Dr. Nilesh Bharne, IPS.
Can we have Dr. Nilesh on?
Dr. Nilesh, yeah. It takes a lot of strength and courage to be within the system and bring change.
And there is a very deep personal satisfaction here as well. We have somebody who's from Nagpur, my hometown, who's doing some wonderful work, and here's Dr. Nilesh. Can we have Dr. Nilesh on screen, Rishabh? Yeah.
And I could also feel you felt proud, Chet, when you were telling about Dr. Nilesh. It felt so good just seeing you. Wow.
Oh, no matter how much we think about the world, the planet, right? But there is always that association, that little bit of selfish thing that comes in when you meet somebody from your own town. I'm in Valley, and someday I meet somebody at Starbucks and they say, hey, I'm from Nagpur, or I'm from this place, or I'm from other place. So there is that bond that definitely happens, right?
True.
So I believe Nilesh is having some tech challenges. Are we good backstage?
And I think we also have Nakul. Hi, Nakul. So 3 people who met at the same event, meeting again. And are we having any technical glitch? I think we are. Since we have so many attendees present out here, I would also like to introduce you to Nakul, who's a founder of Renovatio Foundation. Here is someone again who I met on the same day, the day I met, in fact, Chet. And trust me, the kind of person he is, the kind of calmness he also possesses is unbelievable. He belongs to the same age category, but he is unique and different, trust me. With this, let's move to the...
I believe there was some technical glitch on Nilesh's end. I believe, hopefully, it's resolved. But, you know, a great honor to present this award to Dr. Nilesh as well. So let's have the next award.
And the award goes to...
What was that? Was it
the Prominent Impact Award goes to CEO, founder of Seed Education. And with a generous round of applause, Mr. Harish Mamtani. And he's bang on time, like I was pronouncing his name.
Harish, can you switch on your camera? I would love to say a few words about Harish. I mean, I met Harish a couple years ago, and when I was nominating Harish, and he has taken a very different journey. And people, you know, there is a very simple difference between charity and philanthropy, and very few people understand that difference. So charity is something which is more of a relief word, which is an after effect or reactive effort. And philanthropy is something which is very proactive, where people have to do a lot of stuff proactively, trying to change the system. And taking the philanthropic route without being a billionaire is a very different approach, right? And I think Harish is a very live example of that, that category. Whenever I hear him out with his vision for bringing in, STEM education to the underprivileged students of India, it's amazing. It's very inspiring and very innovative the way he happened. So we are so excited to present this award of innovation to Harish Mamtani. Thank you so much for Harish for accepting this award, and welcome to GEC family.
Thank you so much. Appreciate the honor. It's been a very interesting journey over the last 8 years since we started Seed Schools. It was never planned to do this, and it was really driven by passion and the desire to change the quality. It's been like any journey, it has ups and downs, but when we walk into the school, it all makes it worth it. So appreciate the honor, and really it belongs to the team, especially through this last several months has been extraordinarily challenging. Schools have been closed, there haven't been much income, but the dedication of the team has been really inspiring for me. So this is on behalf of the team. Thank you so much.
Come on, everyone, a big round of applause. Thank you so much, Mr. Harish.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now let's move to the next surprise. So to all the attendees present out here, मुझे भी उतना ही surprising हो जितना आपको surprising होगा कि next award किसको मिलेगा. And let's move to the next.
Now the backstage rolling people on the stage. Hey, we should also have our anchor here. We should also beam up Kritika.
Kritika, yes.
Ram here. Can we beam up Ram here?
Somebody who I just introduced before the break we had, like a small crispy break.
I hope the tech issues are resolved. We have Ram.
By the way, Chet, so till the time, yes, Ram.
Here is Ram. We're going to hear from Ram tomorrow, guys. So let's give a big round of applause. Ram, you can have your video on at the bottom left. You probably will see a button there. And okay, wonderful. We are seeing a big round of applause. So big round of applause for Ram.
Yes, people are excited.
And can we pull the award on the screen? And Ram, over to you. Oh, wow.
I'm actually feeling very, very honored. I mean, with the kind of people who were there, where the awards were given, I'm very humble that you guys had this gesture of and actually giving me this. Thank you very much. I mean, this gives me, actually adds a lot of pressure and actually responsibility on me, Chase, and thank you for that. I think the takeaway for me is, I think, to do more. The journey for me in the last 6.5-7 years, after spending 15 years in corporate, has been a totally different one. And we had this conversation other day. So it's very inspiring. I mean, at the same time, a lot of pressure is being put on me to be able to see actually we need to do a lot more. So thank you very much for making me part of this.
And thanks so much for accepting this award, Ram. And trust me, yes, it is a responsibility and a lot of pressure. We are going to put a lot of pressure on you because you are the change maker. You have that power to make that humongous impact, right? And in fact, guys, don't miss out on tomorrow's session of Ram when he's going to talk about skilling for scaling impact. I mean, this is a powerful thing that we can think about, right? Where you can leverage how do you amplify the impact without really thinking about just without trying to becoming that unicorn organization or whatever. You can make an impact at a ground reality by helping people get skilled and leverage them to grow your business or other initiatives that you do. So it's like a quadruple bottom line where you try to get into. So Ram, we are excited to hear you tomorrow, and thank you so much again for joining us today.
Thank you so much,
and thanks everyone.
Yeah. Did you guys notice Ram sir said 16 years in corporate? Do you feel like he has worked 16 years in corporate? So young.
Don't get fooled by his young man image, right? He is young at heart, everything, but then I want to tell him that, hey, Ram bhaiya, namaste. You're my senior.
He's senior to you? He looks great to you.
I am literally jelly when you call it as like. I always tell him, yaar, bhai, please let me know what is that miraculous thing that
Chadi booty.
Genes I probably cannot share, but maybe if there is any lifestyle
that these days.
I'd love to follow. Who do we have there?
And with this, let's move to the next award winner. And we have. By the way, so I would request Chet, whenever we are having someone on board, I would love you have interesting stories of how you have met or what you have learned from these winners, these change makers. So when these awards are coming, I would love you to share your story side by side. So, example, when did you meet Mr. Ram?
So Ram and I connected technically a couple months ago. I mean, yeah, maybe 6-8 months ago. Not very far, not very long ago. But then it was an interesting conversation that we have had about skilling. Ram was CEO at LaborNet then. And Ram's nomination, by the way, came in from a very dear friend of ours, common friend of ours, called Dr. Srini, who is also part of our, extended family, Crowdera and GC family. And his perspective was so well thought. He had his research done very well, very, very, very well. And with that, when I heard this thing, it was such an amazing thing to hear that people do not understand. They think fundraising is, fundraising is a very small. They put it into a bucket. They only think that a lot of efforts need to put in. But Ram was one person that I met where I felt aligned because he understood the difference between charity and philanthropy and all different initiatives that people take. So it was a very, very interesting conversation and the journey that we started, since then. But I was excited to see the nomination, and jury were excited because it was 200 nominations, guys, 200 nominations, and all wonderful people. Trust me, all wonderful people. You were like, oh, you are big people. But then it was a wonderful list that came up to us just 2 days ago. And very interestingly, nominations we forgot to stop the nomination form, and the nominations continued coming in. So we felt so bad that we could not even look at some last set of nominations because jury had already come up with their results.
Finalized. Okay, great. And since we are at in fact the GEC summit, we have a bunch of youngsters. One word.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sorry.
Please go ahead.
One word. You already created that impact. If you remember that Starbucks Pawai conversation, it was about mentors. And I definitely have one of the biggest hosts in this country as a mentor to me right now. Thank you. I love you. Blue heart, red heart, everything to you. I'd never said it like right now. It just hit me. It happened because of you. That idea came because of you.
All right.
And Rishabh.
Hey, can we do this while we pull up the next slide? I think we have wonderful people here. Can we
yes, the attendees.
Somebody from audience? Oh, we already have a next slide. So our liberty is gone.
Yes, it just faded away, but it's completely okay. Now the award is in the category of rural change makers, and in the category of rural change makers, the co-founder and CEO of Indian Development Foundation. A thunderous round of applause, slow to fast claps for Dr. Narayan A.B. Iyer. And here is an award which has come up on screen.
Can we beam up Dr. Narayan on screen?
And here we have Dr. Narayan.
Wonderful. Dr. Narayan, you would have a video button on your left if you could switch it on and say a few words.
Oh, yeah.
Hear about your initiative.
Happy evening to Chet and Nitin. Wonderful moment, we can say. Yeah. And also a lot of people who are viewing this program. Change makers, and my sincere gratitude to the GEC Summit 2020 and also all the organizers of Crowdera for making this happen. In fact, I wish to dedicate this award to my mentor, my guru, my godfather, Dr. A.R.K. Pillai, who is a leprosy reformer of this country, who is 93 young. He's young. And he is also an artist. He's a painter. So he entered into painting class at the age of 90, and he's doing one of the finest paintings. And today he has completed painting Rani Lakshmi Bai. So this is how people so there's an inspiration that keeps coming in. I, for one, joined when I was in grade 11 as a student and full-time worker over there. Traveled across to all the countries and also to all the states in India. The one such program that we had was the leprosy removal from the country, to at least to reduce from 4 million to 100,000 cases. And I was part of that. And followed by that, when we were into the grassroots work, working for the socio-economic background people and visiting a lot of villages. And my study was more into village development. And also blessed and got inspired by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Meeting him for 6 times was a great honor and a blessing. So I thought of starting a Bal Gurukul in Rajasthan with 50 students in 2 villages called Langadevas and Nonpura. And today, Indian Development Foundation has around 250 Bal Gurukuls in the country from JK to KK. And we have over 100,000 students passed out from this Bal Gurukul. And show continues with a lot of inspiration, a lot of people joining hands, a lot of volunteers coming in. So the mission is fully on with a lot of jigar junoon. Yes, we are here to inspire more and to see that people come on board and help the journey. It's called Goodness Journey. It's Goodness Unlimited as we keep traveling around and meeting a lot of wonderful people. And thank you so much for providing us this wonderful opportunity.
Thank you so much for accepting this award, Dr. Narayan. It is an amazing thing that the kind of work you guys are doing. This is what change is. And in fact, I think I should also say one of our, I think Kritika is right here. Kritika, I would love to hear a few words from you about Narayan sir.
Hi Kritika, thank you so much for bringing me into GEC, making this Divine Connect possible.
Sir, it's our pleasure to have you on board, sir. It was I really wanted to see you on stage, and I requested everybody to bring me on stage. I wanted to see you on stage. So it's our pleasure, and I'm so happy to see you here.
Thank you
The
so
good
much.
thing that you've been doing, we are proud of you. We are proud of you. Thank you for coming, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was an unstoppable COVID-19. Not a single day, including Diwali to Sunday to Saturday, every day. Still, I have not gone back home. So there is no
Okay.
work from home. That is, I have never seen what is work from home. I don't know what does work from home mean.
That
So it has
increases
been
your
always
tummy by
throughout.
1 inch every day.
So, but it was great fun meeting new people, new volunteers, crisscrossing. It was great. Thank you so much for this wonderful honor, and I dedicate this honor to all the students of our Bal Gurukuls and also to my mentor, Dr. Pillai. And we are going ahead with this mission. Yeah.
Claps. Virtual claps.
Wonderful, wonderful. Big round of applause for Narayan.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nitinji used to say green heart and red heart.
Thank you so much. Oh, no, sorry, he just went away. He was saying, I think, something about blue.
But we'll still
All
say.
righty. I believe we have almost come to almost until challenge of the day for today, but it does not stop here. So let's invite our last awardee for tonight. Sorry.
And I have
you're saying
something, Chet, just in case, just an idea. It's okay. Maybe let's go with the award first. And the Prominent
Then we'll
Impact
go to your
Award
idea.
at the GEC Summit
I have a
2020.
before that as well. So, a very interesting thing about Ramesh. Ramesh has done some amazing work, innovative work in sanitation space, right? A very wonderful work in sanitation space in the schools. So that is very amazing. And a lot of different wonderful initiatives. I mean, if I have to read out, it would be work that he has done. So welcome, Ramesh. We are so glad we have you here. And if we can have you on the screen, if you can switch on your camera, there is a video button on the left. A big round of applause for Ramesh.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Ms. Ramesh, for joining us.
Maybe a few words from you. How do you feel about the award and the giving economy?
Yeah, this is indeed a great honor for me to receive this award from Nagrik Foundation and also Crowdera Foundation and the jury. I'm feeling truly humbled and honored to receive this award. And I would like to dedicate this award to 150,000 Rotarians who are grassroots workers across India who work day and night without expecting any kind of recognition except a smile on the face of needy ones. So the Rotary is an international humanitarian organization you may be knowing. We have presence in over 220 countries, 1.2 million Rotarians across the world. And these Rotarians are professional people. They are community and business leaders whose passion is to make this world a better place today. In Indian context, I would like to share with you that Rotary is today engaged in over 30,000 government schools, making WASH intervention. We have been able to touch and benefit over 6 million children and 5 million families during the last 5 years in support of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. And under this Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, there is a program, Clean India, Clean School campaign. And the Rotary India is actively engaged in this initiative. And beyond that, we are also engaged in building household toilets. The Rotary has built over 250,000 household toilets, benefiting 1 million people during the last 5 years. So the Rotary, Rotarians, you may be knowing many Rotarians in your region, in Nagpur, Pune, Mumbai, across India. Our whole aim and goal is our passion to make this world a better place to live. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for such kind words.
And we
Share
also
some
look
reactions,
forward to
guys.
working
Yes.
closely with your foundation and also with Nagrik Foundation, and to help for the WASH interventions, because the Rotary works closely with Government of India, various ministries, Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation. We work closely with Ministry of Human Resource, now Education Ministry, and various governments across India. So we look forward to working closely because the Rotary Foundation is our charitable arm, and this you will be surprised to know uh, end polio drive is our signature program. The Rotary not only raised 10,000 crores of rupees for this initiative, but also helped in raising over 70,000 crores of rupees across the world, and we work closely with Bill Gates Foundations also. So there are many programs that Rotary has. WASH is one of areas of focus of Rotary.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Salute to you, sir. Salute.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank
you so much, Chet, for bringing all these visionaries and patrons of life. I think it's their passion to live life which has created that impact, and you and the whole team of GEC Summit 2020 has created that impact. Bringing all the people under one roof.
Exceptionally great people that you've brought on board.
Very interestingly, I probably have not done much. It's all this entire amazing set of partnerships that we have. Right? We stand with all the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, but 17 is something which is very close to us, because we believe that the more we connect people, the more right intentions we put in that, we can do wonders. And I think I have to thank to youth around me, right? Everyone around me, this young generation, new generation, they are so inspiring. They are, they really cannot stop. They really keep inspiring me every day. So this journey, what we have started today, is just a trailer. Tomorrow we have something amazing happening. Tomorrow we have wonderful set of young change makers, like as young as a 13-year-old, right? Doing some amazing impact. We will learn about it tomorrow. And then we have a lot of charity leaders coming up. They have done a wonderful job. So the mix that you would have tomorrow, a wonderful set of awards, but the difference tomorrow would be, we would be having awards in 2 different rooms, because we have some wonderful awardees, and we have multiple simultaneous sessions going on tomorrow, the talks that we are going to have. So it's, recordings of all the sessions will definitely be available for everyone.
Just
yeah.
Now, yeah, you can continue. Sorry, your voice was cutting it. The internet went out.
Got it. All right. So as we discuss for tomorrow, I think I just heard from backstage that one of our awardees for today, who we were not able to, who had some technical issues, is here. So we'll get back to that. But I'll just continue. I'll just complete what I was trying to say. So tomorrow we are going to have multiple simultaneous sessions. And so people will have to choose from the sessions. Team will send all the information to everyone, so they can choose where they want to be. But nothing to worry, because all the sessions are recorded. All these sessions will be put on givingeconomy.today learning center. This is a learning center for all the change makers. These change makers can come and learn all the best practices, hacks, masterclasses, whatever we have, from the givingeconomy.today portal that we would have, that we would launch. And it's absolutely open to everyone. And awards also will be in different rooms tomorrow. Different section of awards will be in different rooms. So do not miss out tomorrow. And we'll be starting a little early tomorrow. So that agenda will be sent to you first thing in the morning, or maybe early tonight. So now, without any further ado, let's invite the last awardee for the night. Wonderful.
And the last award goes to.
Wonderful. Can we have Dr. Kalpana on?
It's loading. It's loading.
All
I
right, I guess
think Dr.
you guys,
Kalpana is kind of joining in. Is she tuning in?
guys, I think there is some technical glitches, so thanks to the internet. But I believe we will have to, continue our discussion now. So here is what we do. Over to you and Nitin and Kritika. But I just wanted to take a few, moments to express my utmost gratitude that I can express for the wonderful team that I have. First thing goes to our team that is here in backstage: Kshitij, Rishabh, Vishnu, Vangsha, Aditi, Kritika, Nitin, Sandeep Saxena from SDG Chopal, who has been constantly helping. Of course, Deepak ji, right? Naresh, who has done wonderful video work for us. Prashant, who has designed awards. Also, the wonderful Crowdera and Nagrik Foundation team. First of all, utmost gratitude to all of you. Without you, we could not have started this journey. We have just started. So I cannot call that we would have completed this journey. So it's just a start. And then my deepest gratitude to all the awardees for showing up here, for coming and really aligning with the vision of giving economy and accepting the responsibility that they're going to carry this torch further. They're going to take this mission and keep impacting many change makers over a period of time. So with that, I would like to call it a day for tonight. Long day ahead tomorrow, exciting day ahead tomorrow. Nitin and Kritika, thank you so much once again. And if there is any conversation you would like to have with the audience, and if audience wants to have any questions, we are available. If there is any question for me, please put it in Q&A or raise hands, and I can backstage can beam me up. I will be available here backstage if required for next 15-20 minutes if anyone has any direct question for me. Thank you so much, everyone. Jai Hind. I'm also here, so you guys can meet everyone.
Are we on stage now?
And here we are on stage.
Back
Thank you
again.
so much, everyone, for being present. And thank you so much for taking out the time. A beautiful Monday, Tuesday evening. Thank you so much for giving almost 4 hours of your life.
Yes. And thank you for listening to us. Thank you
and
for...
if you are in Canada or...
Yeah, continue.
No, you continue. It's okay. Thank you so much, Kshitij. Thank you so much, Dr. Fansalkar, if I have just spelled it correctly. And thank you so much if we have any attendees from Canada, US, Kenya. I know it's Monday for you guys. But
yes, from
abroad. Thank you so much for being... Oh, yes, thank you so much for being a part of the GEC Summit 2020 Day 1. Kritika, anything you would like to say to our attendees for Day 2?
So, Day 2 is going to be fun, much more exciting than today. And I hope we lived up to their expectation as hosts. I hope we engaged them. So yeah, looking forward to tomorrow's event. Please, everybody join and bring in your friends and family and siblings and
Mummy, Papa, Padosi, neighbors,
wife, husband,
society
girlfriend,
security guard. Bring everyone. You see a person on the road, call him. Evening, शाम को कितने बजे से free रहना है कल बता दो उन्हें.
We have only 12 participants. So
yeah, I think everyone is leaving now slowly and steadily. Thank you so much for your